What's going on, guys? Today's podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. And if you go to manscaped.com/RBP, you can get 20% off and free shipping on their new beard kit that I'm going to show you. Check this out. So you get all this cool stuff in the beard kit. I'm going to show you each piece one by one. First of all, the most important part is you get the beard trimmer itself. Now, the cool thing is you don't get a ton of these attachments like with every other beard trimmer. You lose half of them. This one, you can set the beard trimmer length with this dial. So you just have the one guard to worry about, which is beautiful because I always lose these. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you get the beard conditioner, you get beard balm, you get a beard brush. Wonderful. And you get, let's see, beard oil. And the last thing is the beard shampoo. So you get all this. I'm going to show you on the website. If you go to the website, manscaped.com/RBP, you can go to new beard kit, click on that. It'll show you exactly what you get. You get the scissors, you get the brush, you get all this stuff in the beard kit for $139, but you save 20% plus you get free shipping. So make sure you go to manscaped.com/RBP or use code RBP at checkout to get the discount plus the free shipping. Guys, you won't regret it. This beard trimmer with the dial on here, so you don't have all the attachments, is absolutely. Boys, it's the all Brits podcast
all Brits.
Today.
Indeed. All Brits and similar. Well, I don't know what color that top is, but it's kind of greenish tint on Neil there. Kind of in like military colors. Is that the grey one or is that the green one?
It's the olive one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like green, yeah. Similar to your color.
Olive is very nice. So that's a plug for his top. Buy that top.
James, how are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Neil, you haven't been on in like it's been like six months.
Yeah, it's been I think the last one I did was at Olympia in Vegas.
Yeah, but as bodybuilders, we measure time in weight. So I saw you
many pounds ago.
I saw you
50 pounds ago.
50 pounds ago. I saw you.
Yeah, you saw me 50 pounds ago. How many pounds ago were you there?
Oh, he's fucking fluctuating. He ain't ever changing. Come on.
I'm transforming.
260 for life.
I'm transforming now. No, I'm 270 today.
Retired to 270. I love it.
Yeah, it's not a great 270 though. It's a softer 270. It's a softer 270.
It's pretty solid.
All I care about is, can I train, and is my training fun? That's all.
You're solid enough. I saw your latest HOSSTILE video on YouTube, and you look solid enough. You went and trained.
Did you see that kid we signed, James?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good video. That's why I said I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good video.
That kid's a freak, dude. He's only 21.
He trains hard. He's got that like roughness to his training that I like.
That's what I love most about him. Is he's like he's the opposite of the
new school.
You know, the new school way is like, gotta be perfect, and you gotta train light, and you gotta write everything.
He kind of trains a bit ferocious and janky, like a branch, but I like that.
He's the kid's a fucking animal. I love it. It's like right. It's exactly what I like. So I'm
say his muscles dense.
Yeah.
For his age as well.
Yeah, like the density is crazy. Like he will occupy even more space as he gets older, but what he has got is like, you can tell it's fucking solid.
I don't know how much.
Big, and he's big as well. He's still fucking huge, but he could probably be giant like by the time he's, a couple of years older.
James, you're a bodybuilding historian. Do you remember Matt Mendenhall?
Yeah.
For some reason, this kid reminds me of Matt Mendenhall. This is Matt Mendenhall. His physique reminds me of this for some reason.
Probably because the hair, if you took the hat off, it's probably the same.
Yeah.
Honestly, I get what you're saying there, totally.
I don't think it's just the hair. The kid's got like a really like this kind of
stature. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's actually a good comparison.
And surprisingly, he like Ben said, when you see him with clothes on, you're like, he looks big, but is he gonna be pretty under there?
Yeah.
And he takes his fucking shirt off to pose for us, and his fucking waist is small, and he's pulling vacuums and shit. Like
he's put together pretty well, and it's like it's evenly distributed. It's not like he's got. If he just keeps going everywhere like he is on all over his body, it's just going to keep.
Yeah. Sorry, Neil. Go ahead.
How many years has he been training?
I think he said. I think he said like 3 years or something like that. He said he was a swimmer before, and he's also
like that.
He's also a gymnast.
So that explains why he's got a good back.
Yeah.
Swimmers have great backs.
Yeah.
Do you think it's this motion?
Turtle shell.
It's the pullovers.
Yeah, they're yeah. They're doing the butterfly. Just like
it's the pull down movement. That's
I promise, like they have shown me a high level elite swimmer that has a shitty back in terms of like their insertions and.
Let's see.
Yeah, true. And even from the gymnast perspective,
Michael Phelps. You know, Michael Phelps and he's got no back.
Okay, let's see. Swimmer physiques.
This might be a very broad generalization.
Well, Jason Statham used to be a swimmer. If you look at Jason Statham's back, the insertions are quite crazy.
I don't know. We can't see any back. We can't see any backs here. Wait, here's a back. It's shit.
Well,
look at Jason Statham's back. He used to be a swimmer, didn't he?
His back is shit, man.
That's not a prime swimmer. That's not a prime swimmer. That's an amateur.
This back is dump.
Yeah, but he didn't count.
Yeah, but we're not size. Okay. They don't mess up the size.
Fouad, find someone that'll prove my point.
I'm looking. Oh wait, look, this one's pretty good. Look.
Yeah, look, traps are pretty good.
Yeah, got good insertions here. All right, swimmer's got good backs. Ben said it. Oh wait, this one. Look.
Yeah, but again, let's compare to like normal mortals as well. We have high standards, don't we? We're like, if it don't look like Phil Heath's back, we think it's shit.
That's right. Well, we have to judge by what we know. That's all.
We only know very, very developed backs.
Yeah,
clearly.
Anyways, what's going on, Neil? 50 pounds ago, I saw you. Man. Where are you now? Let's take a look at Neil. I want to take a look at Neil's progress. For those who don't know, Neil has moved from classic to the open. This is Neil's progression from men's. Look at this pretty hair.
Boy band.
Look at this good-looking motherfucker. So you went from men's physique to classic, all the way through, and this is the Olympia last year.
Yeah,
I actually never knew you did men's physique. That's why when I saw this post, I was like, "Oh, okay." Just didn't know. It's good. It's cool to see people's transgression.
Why?
Like trends.
Neil, out of curiosity, why did you switch from men's physique? Because you look like you have amazing proportions here.
Yeah, just to be honest, that men's physique one was in the same show that I did a classic physique show. I just jumped in both categories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what happened?
I can't even remember. I think I won my height class, but I didn't win the overall.
In men's physique or classic or both?
In both in that show. It was when I started out. This was years ago. But yeah, that was when, when you're an amateur, you have to do your height class and then win that and then go in the overall, win that.
Yeah.
It was kind of doubling your chances if you did two categories, right?
Yep, of course.
So I used to just jump in both and just hit the poses on both and just see where I fit. But the judges soon told me to stop doing men's physique.
Oh, so that's what I was going to ask next is why did you stop? Is it just the judges were like, go to classic?
Yeah. Well, I was doing classic first. And then I thought I'll just try my luck in men's physique, see how I do. But feedback was like just stick with classic. They said it devalue, because I was a bit unsure back at the time, but they said like it would devalue you a little bit when you jumped in two classes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a strange thing to say because we always encourage, a lot of times because me and Paul have like a level 1 show, right? So a lot of people that come to the show, we have a novice class and we have open class. And a lot of kids that come to the show are new and they've never done anything. And they're like, I don't know where I belong.
Yeah.
And we always give them the advice. We're like, look, do both classes and see where you're comfortable. Or some people can fit in bodybuilding too. We're like, look, do all.
Yeah, but you want that entry money, don't lie.
Well, yeah, I don't really care how they do. I just want as much money as possible. No. Look, it's true that
novice bodybuilding and then like the open bodybuilding, would it still be bodybuilding or different divisions?
No, like if somebody's never competed before, it's their decision if they want to do novice or open. But what I'm saying is whether you decide to do novice or open, you can do, if you're unsure of your physique like you were, and they're like, maybe I should do men's physique, whatever, it's always best to just do 2 or 3 classes. That way you're like, okay, where do I, and then you can take a look at the photos after and go, where do I fit the best? Like, where does my physique look the best? That's one way to do it. Or there's some people who are like, I don't care where I fit. I want to be a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, because like back in the day, my physique wasn't necessarily suited for bodybuilding, but I was like, fuck it, there was no other classes, so I forced it.
Yeah.
So I did before men's physique. I did like this thing called WBFF, which is like fitness model.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I always wanted to do open bodybuilding, but I knew it was a long way away. I need to put a lot of size on. So it was like, I did fitness and then jumped into men's physique and classic physique and just, you know, just kept trying to progress and progress. So that was kind of my reason behind it, buddy.
And WBFF, didn't they have like the suit category and shit?
Some of the physiques in that were pretty fucking good, though, isn't it? Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
I used to train my training partner back in the day. Do you remember Scott Leeson?
Yeah, he was good. Yeah,
I used to train with him like back when he lived in London. The guy his physique was.
Me and Scott competed together as juniors as the first show I ever did. Me and Scott competed.
Yeah. He bodybuilded and then he switched to WBF.
Yeah, and he suited it a lot.
He was about my height. Yeah, it was like that classic, but there was no weight cap on it, so they had a nice full round physique, but it wasn't like overly developed.
I always looked at WBFF as like the model.
Yeah,
the model league.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to be judged on your physique, you had to go to IFBB. If you want to be judged on like your looks and everything, like WBFF was the way to go.
Remember, like, because I remember like Jacko. Is it Jacko De Bruyne? He used to be like the face for that, and he looked. I remember in the early days, mate. He was like
De Bruyne.
Yeah, remember he's like early shows how peeled he was. It was crazy.
What guy is
that? Rob Briscoe used to do it as well.
What's that guy's name? What's that guy's name?
Jacko says JACO.
De Bruyne.
He's early, like the condition back in the day was like.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually mind-blowing.
One sec.
That's big business, that federation.
He's quite a nice fella as well. He's all right.
This guy?
He's got like an anime body. Yeah, he looks like it's an anime, but it's like from those Japanese cartoons, like crazy.
Wow.
But it really, really.
They got great physiques.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a model. It's a model. Like I think this is shopped. If it's not shopped, that's a nice physique.
No, he's got great physique.
He actually is pretty. Yeah,
it's really well put together.
Yeah,
he's South African, right? That guy, I think he is.
Yeah,
yeah. He actually. This is just a random fact. He has his own wine now as well.
There you go.
The Brawn wine.
That's
when are you going to bring out your wine?
I was just going to say that's
HOSSTILE wine.
That's an interesting like
moonshine.
Yeah,
HOSSTILE moonshine.
Yeah, ours will be more hardcore. It won't be wine. It'll be fucking.
You could do a whiskey.
Yeah. So Neil, you're moving away from classic and into open.
Yeah.
Because me and Ben and probably everybody around you is like, dude, you're way too big for classic. So you finally decided to move up. So what is your weight at now? I know you've been fluctuating a little bit. You were sick and now you're feeling better. And so where are you at?
So I'm between like 265, 270.
Okay. That's awesome.
Condition as well. You stay in good.
Fouad, look at your phone. I just sent you the picture. He sent me his legs yesterday. He was like, "Oh, how long do you think I'll need to prep?" And he sent me those legs. I was like, "Not long, mate. Not
long." Dude, Neil, you'll be ready in 6 weeks max. Like it's not even funny. You're like, I got to show this picture. I don't know if you guys are going to see this, but like, here, wait.
But he's just you just don't get fat, do you, Neil? It's great.
Look at the
it's crazy. That's me on show day. Literally.
Fuck Neil. That's they were really impressive. There's a couple areas I think once you maximize them, you're going to be really dangerous. So
your X frame is definitely like that's what everything pops from the center.
Is this the most recent photo?
Yeah, that was last week.
James, what would you say? This is what 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out?
Yeah, but then Neil can excel it, like he can lose fat quick as well.
No, I'm saying for
me, I would say like 5.
Yeah, like dude, and what do you weigh here? 265?
Yeah, I was 265 then.
So, and how tall are you? 5'10"?
Yeah.
So you're gonna hit the stage at like what, 245, 240? Because I remember last year, sorry to interrupt you, Neil, but I remember last year when you were getting ready for classic, before you guys really dumped the fucking calories and tried to get your weight under the limit, you looked like you were pretty ready at like
I think we said 240. That.
236, 238. I've got pictures that Neil sent me, and I was like, I think I remember being like, dude, I could put you, I at least said it to Denise. I was like, I could have him on stage this weekend.
Yeah, it would have been cool to do an open show just before you did your classic show to see in it. I know, like, just to.
Well, that was 236 then, and now you've had like an 8-month off season or whatever so far. So.
Yes, I think I've definitely put on some nice quality size since. I'm just looking forward to kind of starting. We're 18 weeks out from my open debut now, Well, like me and Ben was saying, like, I'm not going to need too long to prep, we don't think. So I've still got time to keep growing.
I noticed you went back to the sexy underwear.
Well, it's my sponsor. They just give them.
It's your trademark. Your trademark.
It's the WBFF days. They're creeping back in.
Those shots are fantastic.
And this is your clothing line, right?
Yeah,
that's totally true for you too. Okay, so these are all like recent photos.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, you look incredible.
Very good, man. But that spread's really nice shot, man. I love that. It's because it all just comes from that small waist, all pops off.
Yeah.
The midsection sets off the whole shot. It's so good.
It's going to be really interesting to see you, Neil, not being withered down. Remember we talked last year, like the more you pushed your weight, it's like I feel like you lost tissue, and then no matter how much you try and fill it out, like James, remember the Olympia? The Olympia,
yeah, you can't get it back because it's just not there. Like
no matter how much you eat.
Neil were like 4 weeks out. That amount of muscle is a different amount him when he was on stage, just because making weight. Yeah. So to see him with the muscle that he knows he can have, and with Ben and him peaking, crazy.
Yeah. The exciting part for me was I actually watched Neil's condition get worse as his weight dropped because we were losing tissue.
Yeah.
He actually had better condition.
Yeah, when
his condition was much better in the 230s than it was at 220.
I tried to tell this kid that when I was at the Toronto Pro, I met this kid. He's competed in one of our shows, and now he's a pro, and he's on that borderline where he's like, I think he's going to be like 230 on stage or 220 on stage or 225 on stage, and he's like, I think I want to push to 212.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, it's not going to work out for you, man. I said, you're going to drop 15 pounds to try and get to 212, and all that's going to happen is your muscle is going to look stringy. You're never going to look like, if you look your best at 225, going 12 pounds or 13 pounds down from that is not going to result in a, I'm like, look, people like Derek are doing very, very well in the open. I'm like, if you're 225, put on 5 more pounds or 10 more pounds and compete in the open.
I don't think it matters anymore. I think as long as you look big and full on your structure, I don't think height is something that gets into consideration now.
I think judging
if you're lighter just because you're high, I don't think that's enough to hold you back from doing an open show. If you're light, just slim, totally different thing.
Well, and that's the thing about this kid. He's like, I don't want to insult him in case I forget, but he looks like he's 5'5", 5'6".
Yes, he looks,
and he's just he's a fucking mountain. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to be 212. Just go into the open.
I think more of the 212 guys, even if they are 212, should do the open because they still have a good chance of winning the shows because they are built well.
Well, think about it.
The money's well.
Think about it, James. How would someone like Keone or Angel or Ole, like how these guys
they'd smoke loads of us in open shows.
That's what I'm saying. Like they would, I don't know about smoke, but they would all do very well in the open category.
They would do very well. Like who's going to beat Keone that's outside of the top 10 at the Olympia? And all those other 10 trying to qualify, none of that top, like I don't think anyone outside the top 10 is going to beat Keone in the show.
That's interesting you said that.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. Let me just put a caveat on it, because let's assume Keone is peaked and he's in the best condition of his life. Can Keone do what Derek has done, or is he not that big? Is he not big enough to go there yet?
It's really hard to make that comparison. I really don't know, but Derek's just different level to everybody. Anyway.
Derek was coming down to make the 212 anyway. He was already big.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
Keone doesn't have Keone's probably my favorite physique in the current league. No offense to you guys on, but I think he's probably I think he's probably my favorite physique of this generation currently. His physique structurally is unbelievable.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the size to stand with, say, James at 270 build on stage. The discrepancy is very large.
Okay,
it is going to be close, but I think size does come into play.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase it, because I don't know if I agree with you somewhat, but you got to remember too, he can still push his weight up. He's not like peaked by any means, because he's still pretty young. So take somebody like Tonio. Tonio came from from 212, beautiful physique. I think Keone is in the same realm, if not even nicer physique.
Structurally, actually superior.
Yeah. So if he built Tonio's thickness, where does Keone the new Dexter? Like, because he's now.
Yeah. I think Keone's like potentially, you know, top 10 in his first Olympia in an Open if he's peaked to the gills and just like as full as he can be. And he's crazy.
If he's peeled, then
because even in Sweden, like when we were watching him guest pose, Ben, he's just like the way he's put together, and even the way he moves, and just is so sure of his body. That's in itself just he's so aware. I don't know, that adds to everything as well. He just knows he's
poses.
Go ahead, Neil. What was that?
I was going to say, like, Keone has that same, like, Derek Lunsford factor that when he hits the pose and opens up, his ratios are so crazy. He doesn't 212 pounds, does he? You know what I mean?
We made that same comparison. Me and Ben were driving back from El Paso, and this conversation came up, and I made that exact same comparison because we were talking about Keone and how incredible it is when he opens up from relaxed to a front double.
Fucking crazy.
And I said Derek has that same thing. Like when they're standing there, they're big, but then they open up and the fucking front, the lats from the front just sweep out.
Lats from the front, the stomach pulls in, like everything just like it's like a transformer.
Yeah.
Like it literally transforms.
And that's where it beats someone who's potentially bigger but a bit more blocky.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah.
But then I think if you stood next to James in the side shot and James is on that kind of physique, you're like,
I'm not
I
saying...
can see the prettiness, but then that size and density is there. You know?
Where did Tonio finish last Olympia? 15, 16, 17?
He was a call out behind me.
Yeah. I wonder.
He was in the same call out as Andrew Preston.
And listen, I agree with Ben. Like there's only so much shape can do before muscle starts to take. I mean, look at Sean Clarita as a perfect example. He stepped into the Arnold.
Yeah, and then it's just muscle versus
then he's got out muscled, so he was in like 6th or 7th or 5th or 6th or 7th or whatever he was. But he got out muscled by the guys that were
and that's why I think would determine. I think that's what keep Keone from being above. Like I said, I think he could be top 10, and then the top 6 though is like a different thing. That's going to be the guys that's the hunters, that's the guys with the maturity and the muscle that you just can't compare to.
But I think what I'm asking, I guess, is because Keone's still young. I thought he's in late 20s, right? I believe. So I'm thinking, like,
definitely not that yet.
If Keone can pack on that size, he has to.
He could do a Derek.
Yeah, he could do a Derek. I think.
Well, if Derek can do it, then Keone has a chance for sure because Derek's done it.
But how much more tissue does that frame need, or can it handle?
Probably not. It doesn't. How much does it need more? How much more would it need?
I don't think he's.
If you put on like 5, no, but if you put on like 5 to 10, I'm not talking like 20, 30. I think you put 20 on that, you're going to start to lose.
Spoil it.
No, but if you put 10 of actual tissue, that's nuts.
Like 10 on that is going to be like 10, really. 10, even if he walks on stage, you'll think he's won.
He'll look 250 at
10
pounds more.
You know, this is a comparison I make too, and I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but like, how big is Martin versus Keone?
Yeah, they weren't that different in size, were they? Like as people,
I didn't feel generally. Like I don't know about now, but I saw them guest post together when we did Branch Warren's show. Like we were at the expo there, and I saw them guest post together, and I didn't feel like Martin was that much bigger than Keone.
Similar height, similar taper, similar structure, like just ones. Yeah.
I'd say Martin has a little more width across his clavicles, a little more thickness and depth across the
Mine's got a very thick back, isn't he, as well?
Does anybody know their weights? Isn't Martin like 240?
I think he was on stage in Texas in the 230s.
Yeah, I would have said 230s as well.
230s.
Okay, so he does outweigh him.
That's why he's taking the year, right? Because if Martin's 245, 250,
it's dangerous as fuck.
But this goes to the beauty of Keone's physique. The fact that I thought they were similar in size, and he's 20 pounds fucking lighter, is insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, shit. There was one point in the Olympia prep. I'm sure Keone hit 202, as a depleted flat. You know.
Yeah.
So I say that, Ben. You probably know better than me, Sir Patrick, but I'm sure he comes in under 212.
Yeah,
like
I think
he's got space.
They were. I think the Olympia, based on what Patrick told me, and I don't want to misquote it, was around the 207 mark, give or take a pound.
And a pound is a lot. A pound is a lot.
Muscle tissue,
it's it's a lot.
So Neil, you're getting your 18 weeks out from Prague.
Yeah, so we're gonna do Romania and Prague.
Romania's first.
To be honest, I'm not sure off the top of my head which one's first.
Romania's first.
I didn't even know the shows at the end of the year. I didn't know if Prague was.
It's the week up. Romania's the week after the Olympia, and then Prague's the week after that.
Okay, so early qualification for next season.
So let me ask you: is the plan win one of those shows, then take the year off for the following year's Olympia? Or are you like, I want to do the Arnold UK? Like, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, to be honest, pretty short term here. So I want to do these first 2 shows and obviously compete to win. But I also have never done an open prep. I've never done an open show. I really want to see where I sit because, like, me and Ben were actually talking about Stanimal when he came 3rd in the Orlando. Yeah, and I was kind of messaging him a little bit. We were chatting. I was asking him about kind of his weight and his size, and and I've just kind of, like, I don't know where. Like, I was thinking, where would I fit in that in that show? And like Stan came 3rd, and I think he said he was kind of, was he 238, and we're about the same height as well. So I was just kind of looking at that, and so to be honest, it's a hard question to answer because it's going to be my open debut. I want to have 2 cracks at it, do 2 shows in 2 weeks, obviously compete to win, get the feedback from the judges. And obviously it's an ever-evolving sport, right? There's always going to be progression. And this is why I don't want to wait till next year to compete, because I'm still going to have something to develop next year and to get bigger the year
every
after.
Year. Yeah,
so
always.
I want to get out there, see where I sit. And my vision is I want to bring unrivaled condition, classic lines with open fullness and size. So it's something a little bit different, but play to my strengths, bring in the condition that I know I can, bring in the lines, and then with the new way of prepping that I'll be able to do with Ben, obviously, I'll be able to eat, I'll be able to stay full, I won't have to over diet, and it'll be a totally new look for me. And I'm really excited to put in like my 215-pound Olympia photo next to like a 240-pound open photo, and actually see progression, and then take it from there.
So it'll be so monumental, the difference with that amount of poundage of lean tissue, because you are lean. It'll be crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to say this much: as much as you might think it's going to be an easy ride, for however long we do prep, it's going to be fucking brutal.
Why?
We're still going to, because that's how he got in shape in the first place. He just got there early, so we can just apply the same. I'm not going to.
It's not going to be brutal. It's going to be easy.
No. If it's 6 weeks, it's going to be we're going to hammer 6 weeks, right? We're going to take that same mindset that he had before. We're just going to apply it in a shorter period of time.
No doubt. Yeah. But the fucking hell he went through last year, not going to be comparable to. You're never going to go through that again, because I remember seeing John go through it. Okay, because John Meadows, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, John was always ready at like 220, 225, but he had to make 212. And there's no comparison between losing fat and losing muscle.
It's really hard to lose muscle.
Yeah, like you fucking. I remember Ben telling me what you were doing. You're not going to go through that again, man. They're not even close. So I'm looking forward to it, anyways. But I want to ask you: are you still training with the same mentality, same training style, or are you looking to train with other people in your area that you can learn shit from?
My training is different now. So when I was prepping for the Olympia, there was some days I was training twice a day and then cardio twice a day, and it was more high volume stuff because I was kind of potentially scared of getting bigger, right? Whereas now I'm doing a lot more heavy duty work, which the guys can watch on the HOSSTILE YouTube. I've just been filming one session today. I've just got back. So the training is a lot different. I'm training less volume, still some high volume work within the session. It's like a hybrid of high volume, heavy duty training and intensity stuff. But yeah, my training is a lot different. It's heavier, it's harder. Food's a lot higher, so obviously I'm a lot stronger. I've got a lot more energy, and I've been getting progressively stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think that's helped me get more density over the last kind of 6 or 8 months. But like I'm a bit like you, Fouad. I like to enjoy training. Like I don't have the logbook. I don't write anything down. Like I like to go to different gyms. Like for me, today we went into this gym called Flex and Tone. It's like the Mecca of Manchester in England. Yeah. So old, pieces from the 70s, pieces from the 80s.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's a different shoulder press that I used last week. but train damn hard on it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my mentality. I'm just really enjoying it.
Do you, James, how far do you live from Neil?
Oh, quite a few hours. Otherwise, I'd always be up for catching up and having a session. I'm like 4 hours. Yeah.
Neil, you need to get in there with James and fucking do some heavy ass shit.
Oh, I'm weak at the minute, man. I couldn't even give him what he needs.
You're fucking weak.
Couldn't even give him what he needs at the minute. I promise.
James is weak as still like a 7-plate squat for 10.
Still weak, he says. Look at this.
Still weak, bro.
Fuck off, James. Okay, here. This is James. I'm still weak. Oh,
that's not now, is it? That's
no. But there was one.
There was one.
This is
earlier.
Look at this. I'm still weak. Fucking.
Yeah, but, well, my legs don't get weak, but the rest of me does.
40-inch quads.
I wish.
Yeah, but that's why you didn't deny the 7 plates for 10 a minute ago.
Well,
you can still do that.
Well, you know.
Look at this. Handsome young man.
Once upon a time. That was a good gym. Ben, did you ever get to go there?
Where's that?
That is Metroflex in Sydney.
Wait. Before we go on,
no, I didn't.
I want to ask you: this is most recent, right?
No. That's like last year.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Fuck, James.
I know. If I could diet and keep that, then it'd be a different story. But I'm just not that good at dieting, unfortunately.
Is this recent?
These are like more recent. That's why I'm like softer.
Yeah, but it's good, dude.
I don't know, bro. I'm fucking not sure, mate. I look at myself with disgust.
Yeah, but that's what makes you.
That's all bodybuilders do.
Yeah, look at this. Look, it's still weak. Look,
I'm still weak.
Weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
All right. No, well, this was actually like a couple of months ago, but I've re-put it up because this only fucking posts anyone likes.
I've never seen what is this shit you got on the bar? Did you bring that, or do they have it there?
Yeah, I brought that. It's just a couple of things from this company that you can just lock onto the bar to help it turn into that. So I just brought them and used it.
So it's almost.
But I'm quite strong because see that kid I train with. He's fucking so strong. It's a piss take. I'm an old man compared to him, and I'm having to try and keep up. That's why I'm somehow hanging in there because of him.
So you're telling me he's squatting more than this?
No, but he's pushing me. He's fucking close. He's right up my ass.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking strong.
He's literally right up your ass here.
Literally is most days.
So James goes from he is brutally strong, he's an animal, to I'm pretty weak right now myself, and you're still out lifting him.
Yeah,
which is James.
I can't let no one beat me. I can't let no one beat me. Not on legs. That's the only thing I got. Yeah, but that's.
What's so? Do you have something planned for next year, James? Is it like the Arnold?
I actually want to do the Arnold and Arnold UK because I've never done the open Arnold, but just try and get things in line, you know.
Well, you got a lot of time.
I know. I said to you though, like obviously before this podcast, I was talking to I gave a message to our group, and I'm thinking about getting the kind of massage surgery because it's flared up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've never been questioned by the judges for it. Never ever in my life.
Yeah.
But it's just enough for me to wake up and feel like uncomfortable and not happy.
Wait a minute. So this is recent, right?
Yeah. That right one, you can see it's a little bit different than the left one.
Yeah,
and
but it's nothing, dude. I wouldn't get surgery on that because you know what? I'll tell you why. So
you tell me why. Convince me. Keep me in good stead.
No, I'm just saying when you're in off season, you're eating a little bit more food. It's going to be puffier.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, fat's higher and fat in estrogen.
Yeah. As soon as you start to get because look, the only reason I'm saying that is I've had gyno surgery.
Yeah.
And I actually had it twice on one side.
Okay.
So when it's like that, it's just puffy. It's not like really like there's not a ball there.
Yeah.
Most of that will go away when you diet with like your AIs and all that. It'll all be gone by the time you get on stage.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Most preps, it's been that case. Like I said, I've never been on stage and a judge say to me, this is an issue. It's just for some reason, I had a little flare up lately. And I think it was because, honestly, I think it's because the Masteron I was using was not Masteron.
Mm.
So I think I was basically taking a superficial amount of testosterone and I think I was getting conversion because there's no other reason for it to occur. I was not doing anything outside of the usual.
Yeah.
And it kind of started, it got really sensitive. I've changed what I've been doing now and my sensitivity's gone down a lot. But there's just still a bit of puffiness there. And I don't know, it just plays on your mind sometimes because this is what we do. All of us, this is our career.
Yeah.
And everything kind of rides on it that you think, even if I give myself 1% chance to not be present my best, it plays on your mind.
Well,
so that's why I thought I'd message you guys earlier to see what your opinion was as well.
What I was going to say is you're pretty lean here. So if it was if it was a problem though, I think you would see it more. Like it doesn't look like I don't know, because I think you too. If you get surgery done, you're gonna have to take like a few weeks off and stuff.
Yeah, it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking if I do get it done. Huh? Sorry, Ben.
I wouldn't look anything near that. Like look at that picture, and then when you said it in the group, I was like, I've never seen that on
really.
James.
Yeah,
it's quite nice to hear because, like I say, you're in your own head as a bodybuilder.
Yep.
And every time I come on this podcast, I'm in my own head and talking to you guys like therapy.
people are going to think you're fucked. It's like every time.
No, but honestly, okay, well, hopefully there's just a small portion of listeners that have these questions as well. So then I'm just appealing to them.
This also highlights the fact that when Luke and I always used to joke about this, because I had accused him of taking the top shelf stuff and not letting me have the real stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's using from the same people. Like whether they're about to get on the Olympia stage or whether they're doing first, and you have all these amateurs that are like, they've got access to like this secret
super
stuff here.
Wait a minute.
To an extent,
it's kind of true. It's somewhat true.
No. The higher you get in the ranks, the less you pay.
You just pay less. You just pay less.
You
still the same.
You just get given it.
Maybe, but I guess I'm trying to think of who we're talking about. If you're talking about top amateurs, they probably all are on the same level. But if you're talking about like some new people,
no, I don't mean complete. No. I mean like if you're kicking around the scene a little bit.
I wonder. I do hear, Ben. I do hear a lot of the American guys are using stuff from Britain. So maybe we are all on the same shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? God knows. But anyway, that was that.
The one thing I do know is most amateurs don't use pharmacy GH.
Yeah, that's the only. I do notice that because of price.
Yeah, and that does make a difference. To
I
some
think
degree.
so.
I wish people would stop saying it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, it really does. You take a generic and you feel like you're taking fucking rat poison.
I think
it feels like
GH is one of those things. I've always said it. GH is one of those things that you get what you pay for.
Yeah, but you know what's hard with GH, because even the pharmaceutical ones are very highly faked. So there's genotropin pens, for example. So many of them in circulation are just fucking dud. Yeah. It's just really hard. So I don't even know if any of us are taking real fucking GH, to be honest.
Well, with GH, I can tell. I remember one year I was taking American Seros. And I'm like,
legit. Remember,
they usually are, but I'm like, this is not. I'm like, my sleep isn't any better. I'm not retaining any water. I don't feel any like that puffy good feeling. My pumps aren't. I'm like, this is shit. You know the puffy good feeling.
The only puffy good feeling I know is a woman's pussy.
No.
That's the only puffy good feeling I know, man.
No, it's like when.
No, I do know really. A little bit like cell volumization.
It's like when it's like when you're retaining water, but in the muscle, not outside.
It's kind of like when you use insulin, and you get that fullness in your forearms and shit, and you feel.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, this has got to be shit, and I switched, and it was shit because I was like immediately swelled up, got tighter. So yeah, I
just need it with the growth. You need it directly from the dwarfs. You need the source. Like the name needs to still be on the label, Mr. So and so, and then he just donates it to you, and then you're getting the good shit. And a couple of times I've managed to do that. Yes, sometimes, but it's so rare.
I did once. It was the best I ever looked.
Oh. Me and Jordan managed to get some I think it was like last year, and I was just like so happy because it had like the proper stamps on it and everything. I was like, yes.
Those ones sometimes that used to happen where they had the prescription ripped off of the box.
Yeah. So
though, if I was the counterfeiter, I would put those on there and rip them off. Just to
absolutely,
just to make it seem like it was legit.
Someone's making a lot of money out there, but plan wise, I'd love to do the Arnold. The big boy one, just to do it, because I think you need to do it at least once in your career, don't you?
Oh, you have to do man. You have to do. To me, honestly, that's my favorite show I ever done.
A lot of people say that, and I think Branch said the same when I spoke to him. I think numerous people that I've spoke to have said that the Arnold experience is one of the best experiences.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because maybe it's because the show is as big as the Olympia not in the status, but in production.
To the fans, it feels like it kind of is.
So it's the same size. It's the same size as the Olympia, but it's not the same level of pressure. So maybe you just enjoy it more. I don't know. It's like
there's way less demand on the athlete during that week from the Tuesday to the show day. Yeah. The Olympia just does this.
Wipes you out.
Drains them.
You lose 20 pounds the week of the Olympia just from walking from one point to the other and then having to do meet and greets and stuff, which is, you know, like you're happy to do it, but fucking hell, it destroys you.
People don't realize until they do their like Olympia thing, and I'm only speaking from the coach's perspective here, but just when someone's not done Olympia, well, Neil, you just did how many shows have you ever done? And then you compare that to the Olympia week, and it's just brutal, right?
Feels like you've done 10 shows in a row.
Especially when it's in 2 different hotels at each side of town.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I don't remember Olympia week being that bad. I remember the athletes meet and greet, and I remember the press conference.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, mate, for you.
Yeah, but what else did they do?
It was a while back.
What else do they do?
We've grown soft. That's what it is.
What I'm asking, I'm just asking. What there's the athletes meet and greet, which they have at the Arnold, and then there's the press conference. So what else is it?
But the meeting, because it's invitational, you only have like 12 from each category at the meet and greet. Right? That's
not my point. I'm asking you. There's two.
No,
things. I'm just saying there's only 2 things you have to do. The meet.
So tell me what the fuck else you really have to do.
Just tell me why it's so hard. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're like,
to me, it was just the amount of moving.
It's not.
It was the distance between things. I was like, fucking hell, this is long.
Look, if you
there's so many people.
If you say it's fight week during UFC, I'm like, okay, they have a million things they got to go do every day. For bodybuilders, it's like meet and greet, press conference. That's it.
No, meet and greet's a lot of energy.
When
you're
but they have that at the Arnold too.
No, but listen, even when you're at the Arnold, if you go into a gym on a Tuesday or Wednesday, it's manageable, right? So the athletes, getting their last workouts in. It's just the volume of people that is around the Olympia where you can't prepare in those 3-4 days like you normally would as relaxed and quiet. Because shows don't get busy publicly until the Friday, right? Typically, the Arnold starts getting busy on a Thursday. The Olympia is busy from the fucking Monday.
Do you know what? I haven't done an Arnold, so I can't say. I just know the Olympia fucking kicked my shit out of me, man. Like it was so tough. The first year I did it, I didn't expect it.
Maybe because so many
same shit.
Everything took a long time, didn't it? Like even when we were doing the tanning, the meet and greets, getting around the expo, everything took a long time because there's so many athletes. Like, I remember seeing the guys queuing up for tan. The queue were a mile long. I don't know how the pro tan guys got through it. There was 60 guys.
What we've done is
we've much bigger than the Arnold.
What we've done is we've come on this podcast, Ben and Neil, and we've just sounded like 3 soft bastards. And Fouad's got his way, and everybody's going to cuss us under comments and say these British fuckers are so soft. They can't handle the Americans and the Canadians.
I'm not. Look, I mean, listen, I love you guys, but I just don't get it because
he's like, you 3 don't know a day's hard work.
No, it's not. Look, you go to a meet and greet. You stand and you talk to a queue of people, whether it's at the Arnold or Olympia. The queue of the people is just you're still there for 4 hours. Doesn't matter whether it's 4 hours of.
Yeah, Mr. It's the whole logistics of everything, man.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's.
I've not eaten for a week before we did the meet and greet. I was starving.
Yeah. Okay. We have Spain this weekend.
Portugal.
Wait, you asked James a question. Wait.
What did I ask him?
You've got to ask him whether he's going to, and if he's not going to, will he do another job for us?
What? Oh, James, are you gonna compete in our show in April?
Oh, Detroit. If it's in April, then yeah, because if I do the Arnold,
Neil's doing it, by the way.
Yeah, we'll do it together. We'll hold hands and do cartwheels on stage. Fuck it.
Wait a minute. I'm serious. Are you going to do our show? You can't just say it and then back out.
No. I know I say a lot of stuff, but I'm aiming to compete in March. So if it's March, April's the next month, then I can definitely do 2 shows. All right.
So I'm going to create a graphic that says confirmed.
And
put your
I'm into Detroit and I'd like to go. So,
so you and
you're not missing much in Detroit.
So far,
it's the home of Eminem. So I'm like, come on, let's go.
You and Ian are confirmed. Neil potentially.
I'm in.
It's a good chance for the boys all to do something together, and it is what it is. We should have all won our shows by then. Me and Neil should have slipped in a couple of victories, got our Olympia qualifications, and then we can all just, if Ian comes and takes the win, then it's all good.
It's better too, because if you guys don't come and then Ian wins, people are going to be like, oh, they planned it that way.
They pussied out.
Yeah, but if more, no, they're going to be like, well, Fouad, Ben, and Paul made it so that Ian could win. But if you guys all come, then they're like, well, they're all friends. So
all right, if you think I don't need gyno surgery, I'm in.
You definitely don't need that. 100% you don't.
Then I've got how many months now? 7-8 months for that show.
Yeah. But listen,
I'm trying to bring my body weight down in a minute a little bit, and then I'll push back up a bit, and then I'll come down, and that'll be the show.
But we have a second option in case you can't compete.
Guest pose.
No, I would like you to do commentary.
Commentary. Oh, well, commentary's fun. I love commentary.
Yeah, because we're going to do a live feed, but I don't want to do a live feed with just like a camera and just like people can watch. I want
can he commentate and compete at the same time?
At the same time. Yes. I've got the mic on me on the stage. James Hollingshead's on stage now.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing a front double.
Keep an eye on what I'm about to do with my left hand.
I'm trying to hide. Can you still make gyno? I'm trying to hide my gyno.
How's my gyno look?
Turns around and my glutes are shredded. Like James' glutes are peeled. No,
no. Honestly, I'd love to do that show. I think it's great, and I'm so excited for you guys. And I think it's good that you guys are stepping forward and putting shows on, because I know you guys do a good job, and having Ben involved as well. I think that's great for all of you.
Well, and there's going to be more prize money, James, so you could take home a bigger check.
What is your prize money going to be? Have you confirmed?
I'm not 100% yet, but I'm aiming for 20, but could be more.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be double.
Right, I'm going down to the fridge now and getting the growth hormone out and slamming it in. Let's go. Let's go.
That's what we should do, Ben. We should offer all the athletes that do our show growth hormone.
Real growth hormone.
How expensive that's going to be for 1 day? Sure.
No, one kit. They get one kit. They get one
kit and a bag of protein. Some protein. They go hand in hand. Come on.
Fuck, we were talking too much about drugs on this podcast. It's not good. Okay, James, Ian, Neil. I think Hunter said he was going to come and make an appearance. It's going to be good. We're gonna have a quite. I think I talked to a couple other guys that I don't want to mention yet because they said maybe, but I talked to a couple other good guys that are good bodybuilders.
No, put them out there. Now they can't back out.
Yeah. We've all said it. Come on.
Like big. So who was it? It was Big Ramy. It was Hadi. Hadi said yes.
Samson said he'll be there to support, not competing, but hopefully he does well. Hopefully he's in the top 5 again.
He should be. He could be Mr. Olympia by that point.
That's right. So I think
Chris said he was going to do his open debut there, right?
Chris Bumstead's coming open debut.
Bumstead said he was switching open. Yeah.
Jay Cutler said he's coming back. Jay Cutler's doing his return show at Detroit.
Yeah. Phil Heath is coming back also. No, imagine that though. Imagine Chris and Ian competed in the same show in open. We'd have the biggest show of the century.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The poster could just be those two, couldn't it? Dude, brothers rivalry.
Brothers rivalry.
That's the same as Zuckerberg versus Musk having a fight. It's now viral.
Okay.
All right, Detroit.
I'll make a graphic. I'll send it to you, James, for confirmation.
If I win that show, I'll do an Ian and get a D put on my hand like Eminem, the Detroit, the D12. Yeah, Ian toe.
We got some good merch coming out too for it. I'm excited. We're gonna start doing like the show's own merchandise.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Do you know what? Because do you know why I'm pissed? And this is something as you are a promoter, and I think it's really important you host a show.
Sure.
The 3 pro shows I've won, no trophy.
I'm glad you touched on that. So we're thinking about so the prize money increase, the medal, obviously, and then for the overall prize, we were thinking about a watch, like a Rolex.
AP.
Wait. There's a trophy. There's a trophy.
Yeah, all I care about is a trophy because I haven't got one since being pro.
I said a medal.
No, I'm doing
a trophy, man.
You don't listen to any of my ideas, do you?
Wait. Are you doing?
I'm gonna do a massive juggernaut trophy.
No, that's different. That's not for the overall winner. That was different. I thought that.
So if you win the pro show,
winner, they're gonna have as well as the watch. But I want.
No, but I didn't know you wanted to give that for the overall. I knew you wanted to do that trophy. I didn't. Oh, it's for the overall. Okay,
it's for the
Okay.
Definitely need a trophy, boys, because it's so upsetting. Like some people don't care about the trophies and put them in the attic, but I've got these really nice trophies from the old junior, the British bodybuilding days. Like I've got the big one from the junior win, the big one from the 2014 Supers win, and then the Supers in 17 and the overall. And then since then, it's like my life's just been on pause waiting for another trophy.
Dude, trophies suck.
I like trophies, man.
I like trophies.
I prefer trophies to swords.
Dude, we got into bodybuilding.
If you go into Flex's office and Flex has got all of these,
those glass ones and that, they're fucking sick, man.
Medals,
dude. I've got medals and they're in these things on the wall, but they aren't the same.
I got a bunch of medals right there. They're all fucking strung up.
What would you do? No one gives a fuck about medals.
Medals look like medals look like you were a fucking a swimmer at school or a gymnast
Dude,
when you were 5 years old.
You guys medals are like you came fifth in a fucking summer race at school.
You guys are the only guys who said that. Every fucking bodybuilder I know, other than you three, has their fucking trophies are in an attic somewhere collecting dust.
Yeah, but I'm not like that. I'm sentimental with trophies. I hold them for days. If I win a show, I hold it for days.
I bet you're wrong. I bet you go in the comments after this video and everyone's like, trophies.
Tell me Samson doesn't love that fucking Arnold classic.
I don't need to ask people I don't need to ask people in the comments.
Yeah.
I'll ask other bodybuilders who all say.
Wait. Tell me Samson didn't have dinner with that trophy for the next week after he won it, sitting at the dinner table.
Yeah,
that's the Arnold. It's different. The Arnold.
No, because but to everyone, a pro win is the Arnold to you. Like when you're like a pro and you win a show.
Arnold and the Olympia don't count. Those are separate.
I know what it is, Fouad. It's because you got that shitty one with the big chin. You know what's that trophy? What's that fucking shit trophy that they did? What show was that? Europa or something?
I like that trophy. I have it here. Wait, no.
That's why you're bitter, because you got given that shit.
It's this one. Like this one.
Look at him in the corner with his chin. It's fucking jokes.
It's that guy from Heart Attack.
That's a great trophy. That's why it's sitting there. All the other ones are gone.
Oh, so that is actually your favorite trophy. Maybe you should do that trophy then.
No, I don't do that trophy.
Oh, man. Yeah. that one is questionable.
That's really rude. That's really rude. That's not nice to Ed and Benny Parisa. You're like that shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That trophy, if that was in my house, if you came in, if people asked if that's from a show, I'd say no. It's like a comedy piece that a friend bought me to wind me up for being a bodybuilder, because it definitely don't look like it's a pro bodybuilder trophy.
James, just no filter.
No, listen. I send my regards and my love to the promoters of that show. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but it is a weird trophy and it's got a
around that monster's neck is my Olympia medal. That medal is fucking awesome. It's like this thick and it's heavy as fuck, and that's my favorite trophy. Even though it was like. Yeah, but you have the Olympia ones, right?
Yeah. They're wicked. They're heavy.
They're
like chocolate. Right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I got.
You know, me and Antoine cheekily managed to get a couple of extras as well.
What?
So I gave one to Jordan Peters as thanking him for giving me helping me.
How did you get the extra one though?
Because one of the geezers is bad. Sorry, IFBB. Someone came up to us and said, "Have you had your trophy yet?" And me and Antoine looked at each other.
Oh no!
Like, oh no, not yet. So we got one extra each, and then I gave it to my coach. Obviously, Jordan was my coach that year. So IFBB, I'll probably owe you about 50 quid. If you do want it, I'll invoice. You can invoice me.
I got a legit extra one.
Oh, you got a legit extra one?
Well, I didn't steal it, James. Is what I mean.
It wasn't stealing.
Hunter had his normal one, and then they gave him a fourth, like top 5 get the gold, silver, bronze.
Oh, okay, so they gave you the.
So I got the spare. I got the spare one. He was like, eh.
All right. So anybody listening, do it the way that Ben and Hunter did, not the way I did, because it's bad.
You're a thief, and then don't admit to it on the biggest podcast.
I had to, because I want to show that I'm an honourable man, and that
It's probably been eating. It's been eating away at you for like.
No, not at all. I thought it was brilliant. Because I was like, fuck, I'm giving away my only one. You mad?
Okay, we forgot. We're moving on. The big man show.
The Portuguese one, isn't it? It's not Spain, is it?
I thought it was Spain.
Yeah. So Rob Taylor's just flown out to Portugal.
I thought it was
Portugal. It's Portugal. Okay. It's the same promoter. It's the
it
same.
Used to be Spain. Yeah, Big Man used to be Spain.
Oh, that's why I'm thinking that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think? Neil, you go first.
Sorry.
You don't have to. Lionel first.
Yeah.
Poor Lionel. Well, I hope Lionel comes back and kills it.
Yeah. That's not the whole list, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
Anybody? I'll go first. I got Vlad, Presti, Roman, Peter, and Wolski.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure about Clancy, he might be dangerous. He might.
I might put Amir over Wolski. It depends, but I think Wolski can beat him if he's in shape.
I've got a pee. I'm sorry about that.
Do you know what? All those top 5 are all condition monsters.
Not Wolski. If Wolski's in the top 5, because I think that was what knocked him. Was a knock on him last show. Was he just could have been harder. Here, I'll go to his physique. I'll go to his.
I was gonna say put him up.
Where is it here? I don't think it's here. I'm gonna have to type it in. Wolski. Christian Wolski.
I don't know, man.
He's got a good physique. He just has to get this tighter for the stage, especially when he's competing against fucking.
But he was. I mean, last year, what show did he? I'm sure he was peeled his last show.
See, it's like it's almost there, and is very lower body dominant too. But he's almost there. He looks good. He just when you're standing next to Roman, and Presti, you know.
Oh yeah, Presti's not. Never really off, to be fair.
I think honestly, I think it's more of a balance issue. His legs are incredible.
Legs are nuts.
Because this
condition, these European guys like him and Theo and that are really coming along.
They just have little things that they need to. Just have little things they need to fix, right? Like these quads are incredible, and legs overall are incredible, but the upper body just is not up to par.
Yeah.
He's getting better every year, though.
The back's pretty wide. It's just a bit more shoulder and arm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the overall thickness of it, is the leg. Look at the legs. Look at the hamstrings.
Crazy. Team Stones, am I correct? He's with them. With him.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Good coach.
Mauro, doesn't Mauro do both? Him
Theo, I think,
and Presti, right?
Presti as well. Yeah. Presti looked great on the last show. Didn't he?
But he's got both these boys in.
So bodybuilders though Borders has Presti winning.
Yeah, I would as well.
The Spain show, right?
Yeah, he got second to Quizzo, didn't he?
Yeah, and he looked good.
Really good.
James, you said you have Presti winning?
I think so. I think his taper just like carries him. I think he's got a shape that's just going to carry him.
Have you seen Vlad?
Yeah, but I've competed against Vlad and Presti. I always feel more not intimidated, but more. I think he gets better look from the judges.
I think they both.
Vlad's in the last year. He's not 2 years. Vlad is.
He's not the same. Not the same. Yeah, he's not the same Vlad anymore.
I don't know, man. I think he's looked crazy thick for about 2 years. I just think I think on stage, Presti will just pop more and have more judges' eyes on him. I think Vlad will be second. I think he's really good, but I just think Presti's Presti.
What are we going to bet on it, James? Wait, before you fully make your decision, watch this video. Watch how this back just keeps growing and growing and growing. Watch. Look. Oh, you think he's done? Nope. Look.
Yeah, no, I think Presti's really good. He reminds me of like a Jason Corrick back in the day, like this British bodybuilder who's really thick. But I think Presti. I see Presti post a lot of fasted shots, so then I see him at his flattest.
Oh shit!
And then he always looks better on stage because Presti's good at not like posting his best shots all the time or when he's got a pump. So then when he's on stage, I'm always very impressed because he's like full.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love Presti's physique and he's super fucking wide. I just think he still has to bring up his legs a little bit more.
Oh, 100%.
Like this is great for him. Like I don't think Crizzo like walked away with it. It was. I think he won, but
the side shots, Presti was like really holding his own.
I thought in the side shots he was better.
Yeah, because Presti's got a really good side leg. Like, I don't know. I think Presti's just a little bit more polished than Vlad. I think Vlad is really good, and I think he'll win a show this year, 100%. But I don't see him beating Presti. But he could bring me wrong.
What show is he going to win? They've run out of shows though, huh?
There's still loads, bro. There's loads of European shows.
No, there's a bunch of European shows still.
It's like 6 or 7 left.
I think
like 4 or 5, sorry.
I think you're slowly talking me into it, James. Because I do like
he's proved himself as well.
I do like Presti's physique.
I do, and like we can always point out obvious things that need to still improve, but it's like we could also look at someone like Vlad and say, well, Presti's got this that he hasn't, vice versa. And it's just about what's on stage is going to be rewarded.
You're right. They both have kind of opposite strengths.
Very, Vlad's very dense, very heavy in the middle.
Yeah,
and then
Vlad's got a really balanced physique because his legs match his upper body, but he's also got a thicker torso.
Yeah.
Whereas Presti's not balanced, but also has a tiny waist. So it's like
has this weird X, like one of the craziest tapers probably in open bodybuilding.
You know what I bet you?
He's so wide across his clavicles. Like when he's just standing next to him in person, like what?
He's just like it's like.
Yeah, I remember meeting him at the. Remember we met him at the Arnold.
The Arnold on the road
outside.
With
he won.
Shoulder pads on.
He He walks up to fucking me. It was Milos. He walks up to me and Ben, and he was like, I could not believe the width of his fucking shoulders.
Yeah, crazy.
I think it's going to come down to two things. One, who's more conditioned. And if they're evenly conditioned, it's going to come down to if Vlad can keep his stomach in check.
Yeah.
If Vlad's stomach hangs out at all, I think they're going to give it to Presti because they're really eyeing that shit. So
you think it's a two-man battle?
Yeah, I don't know if the other guys really like. Roman is very good, but I don't know if he has the amount of fullness he's going to need.
I don't think he has that thickness.
That's what I'm saying. Like the thickness in his upper body, his front to back thickness might not be enough. Amir, same thing. Peter has the thickness, but I don't know if he'll peak properly. I don't know. Lionel, this isn't the Lionel that I expect to show up.
The wild
if that
card
Lionel turns up, then this
Lionel, well, this is I competed against Lionel at the show. Lionel won this show.
Yeah.
If this Lionel shows up, Lionel will win.
The wild card is Peter at the minute because Peter could push for a first, but he's going to have to really fucking be on, and they're going to have to be a little bit off. I think.
I don't know if Peter. I feel like he's. Let me go back before I say anything. Let me just check his physique. I feel like he's got such a big structure, even though he's got a ton of muscle. It's not like it doesn't maybe not filled out as much as Vlad and Presti. Like, see how like open it is.
It's a longer torso, isn't it? It's a longer torso.
Yeah, real high lats in the front, and it's one of those where, like you said, he's more impressive leading into a show before he really gets down to the stage weight, you know. And
I can't really see this. I can't really see this shot properly from the side, but it looks like the back
needs a little bit shallow still.
Yeah,
but look at the taper. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. But is this taper?
It's like Nathan the Ashes a little bit.
Yeah, the long torso. Yeah. Let me see if there's a back shot in here before I judge on that one picture. Oh, there it is. It's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, but look at the thickness he's holding there versus when he's on stage.
No,
that's what I mean. Like, for him to get on stage, he just loses a bit too much.
Well, also, it's easier to hide a back with a lat spread than it is with a back double. Whereas you see here, in the back double, it's kind of like there's a hole here. Sorry, Peter, I don't mean to like dissect a physique. I'm just trying to explain to people why like it might not be in that. He could be third, maybe. I just don't know if I don't know if he can get into that top 2 spot.
Yeah,
we'll see his physique.
And then Amir, promising, but I feel like still needs to be thicker. Wolski, balance issue. Somebody said to look out for this guy, but I feel like he's not thick enough. Let me go to his page. I think it's Laszlo. I mean, this is also a year ago, so who knows how much size he's put on.
Yeah, true.
But he's got a nice physique. Like, it's well put together, just not thick enough. Unless he's put on like that amount of mass in the time, but it doesn't look like it.
There you go with the back.
So, James, do you agree it's a 2-man show?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Neil, Ben, you guys think the same thing?
Yeah,
I'm surprised if it wasn't.
One of the guys in 212 that I think looks really good at the minute. I know that we're probably not reviewing that, but it's the Yamamoto chap, this guy bottom right. I was at a show that he won and didn't win the overall last year with Nathan and Yamamoto, and he looked really good. But this year, now he won his pro card at one of the Spain shows. He looks fucking crazy at the minute. I think he's really dangerous in that 212.
I like this guy. I see his physique all the time.
Yeah, Brazilian.
I think this guy below potentially could fucking actually win.
Is this him, Marco?
Yeah, there should be some pictures of him recently. Like, he's like, I don't know, just so fucking. There was a picture of him doing a back double bicep somewhere, and it's all just looking really good.
Here's a good picture of him. There now. I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah, maybe
now.
if you scroll on this one as well, there might be some.
No, because I wasn't really seeing that pose he does with the hands clasped makes his shoulders look really narrow. See, like this makes his shoulders look really narrow. He probably shouldn't do it.
He could just put his fists together. He could put his fists together there rather than crossing.
Look at the fucking tricep. It's like Seth Rose tricep.
I'm starting to see what you're talking about now, James. It's just that most muscular. I feel like this.
There was a back double shot where it was like really impressive. Well, like, I don't know if this is the one. This is a video. So I don't know where I saw it. It might have been on his coach's page. So, but yeah, I really am impressed by him. I think he's one to watch.
Marco Sarcone.
He's a nice guy as well. All right. So keep an eye out for him. I think he's going to be a force.
Poses well.
Just a chunky little boy. He's fucking got like a lot of fucking meat on that little frame, isn't he?
How long was that? 2 days ago?
Look at this fucking arm.
The tricep is fucking. It says, I don't know when it was, sorry, Neil.
Yeah, 2 days ago at the bottom.
Yeah. I think if you look at the condition of Rob Taylor.
Yeah, he's really well.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't want to put upper body to stand next to someone who's got the upper body like that. But then he beat David, so yeah, he could do.
That's what you're talking about.
Rob's got crazy legs.
Wow.
The thickness all the way through. Yeah.
I hope Rob does well. I messaged Rob because I saw he was out there, and I just said, "Go do your thing, bro." So Rob could win it for sure. Him and Rob, him and Rob, obviously two of my more higher picks. I seem to prefer their physique over the other gentleman that you pointed out, but that's just me.
No, I think this guy I like his physique.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always comes in shape, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like this guy's physique.
He's a character as well, eh?
Yeah.
Got great legs.
There's a few good bodybuilders there, aren't there? Let's be honest. Let's not.
Let's take a look at the guy they have. He has this guy winning, I guess. He always puts them in order, so I'm assuming that's what he's doing.
Oh, so you think he has that top left guy?
Yeah, that's how he does them. Like, that's how I noticed he does them. Like, he puts them in order.
Oh, this guy is actually really good.
He won the UK Arnold, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
He ain't a joke. Yeah, look at that.
Holy fuck.
A complete, eh?
Those lats fucking come from down here.
Fucking good bodybuilders. 212. I like it because they just fill out their frame so well. They're just chunky, isn't it?
Well, I'm not gonna make any guesses because I don't know 212 that well. So,
but there is some good 212s. We can definitely say that. It's a good show all round.
All right, let's do some questions. We have a bunch of questions. Okay, James. What do you think? Do you think Nick Walker will beat Derek Lunsford at the Olympia?
I don't think so. Just because I think Derek's so comparable to like Hadi, and Hadi is Mr. Olympia. I think that he's going to get more of a look in. I just think them two are just. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying he can't, but I don't think he will.
Ben?
But yeah, we know.
Surprised.
Neil?
I'm a big Nick Walker fan, but I think he'll need more in the legs to overtake.
Yeah, Derek's legs are still really like good.
You know what I noticed about Nick's legs? They're getting bigger, but only from the side and the back.
Yeah.
And it's because of the insertion. So when you look at Nick's legs, when he does his side shots, they're actually getting bigger this way, right?
Yeah.
And when you look from the back, the adductor and the hamstring is actually getting wider this way.
It's just the front sweep.
When you look at the front, from his hip, the problem is his sweep starts about this far from his hip.
Yeah.
So there's like a gap where there's no muscle, and then the sweep starts like 6 inches down.
Yeah.
The other problem he has from the front, especially, is his upper body's growing still.
Yeah.
Well, and this is what I'm saying.
Much faster. So the proportions, even if his legs were improving from the front, they're not improving as quick as his upper body is growing still.
Well,
yeah.
So it's
yeah, and I think what I noticed last year at the Olympia when he was posing is he was doing that thing again where he stretches out his waist instead of keeping it compact. And when he stretches out his waist, you get like a longer torso, and then
shorter legs.
And then it leads into that empty spot where his hips are. So it makes the line look even longer, right? Mm-hmm. It makes that empty line look longer, and it makes him look like his legs aren't big. If he poses with his stomach crunched, it creates more of a balance.
I think one of the problems there is the question was obviously against Derek, whose quads go from his knee right to his hip, and he's got a shorter waist with a crazy vacuum. So it's like Nick's, let's call it a weakness, is one of Derek's stronger points with his lats as well. But his quads are great, you know. and his
tight. You think he could benefit from doing it a little off center rather than just dead square on? You know how like Roden, like even Luke used to do that, slightly off.
I did that,
but then it kind of would throw your eye out from looking at straight lines, right? It would just put it this way and then keep that leg.
It 100% would help him to kick one leg out. 100%.
Yeah,
I have no doubt in my mind, because when you're looking at it right now, you're looking at two straight lines and then lats popping off and then quads down here, whereas you could change that all just by going like this.
Yeah, and that's why Nick looked actually really good in the kneeling front double, doesn't he?
Yeah,
because it gives that.
Yeah, creates that. Yeah,
but he has so much adductor as well. Like the leg he kicks out, he could turn that out, and now he's got
the knee out. If he had the knee out and he was light on his toe, you'd see a lot of.
I think he'd switch that.
It's hard because with Nick, Nick is everything and gives everything, and I'd hate to be in this game. I don't like to say that no one can't do something, because people prove me wrong all the time. So I'm not saying he can't beat Derek. It'd just be a very hard task, because Derek is exceptional and has, like Neil said, some strengths that Nick actually has some weaknesses.
Well, it's not
to overcome that. It's going to take some real.
Well, if you break it down pose for pose, right? You go. Nick will win the side shots.
Side shots all day, I think.
Right?
I think he pisses all over the side shots.
From the back, it'll be close, but Derek's back is pretty fucking nutty, and his conditioning is equal to Nick's. And then from the front,
is it?
I think
he's not as hard as Nick.
Nick's got like a grainy, hard look, but the separation.
Wait a minute, but is that
crazy?
Is that muscle texture or is that conditioning? Because it's not the same thing.
It might be a texture thing.
Body.
If they're equal in conditioning, Nick is harder.
Yeah,
that's
well,
fine.
Nick has a drier look from the hamstrings and the back, but the separation on Derek is so clear.
It's clean.
But that's what I'm. But this is what I'm trying to express to you guys. You guys are talking a difference between muscle texture and conditioning.
I think that's what
Phil Heath was super fucking conditioned, but never had the muscle texture of Dorian.
Yes.
So it's like
Nick has like the dryness of a Dorian.
Right.
Yes.
But Derek still has the conditioning. So what I'm saying is, if their conditioning is pretty equal, Nick has the side shots, back shots, maybe close, but then Derek wins on the front shots.
Yeah.
Right. Front lat, front double, front lat, front double.
Nick's way of beating someone like Derek would be that if he can improve the rear shots tremendously, because I don't think he'll ever be able to catch up on the front shots.
I don't think so. I think maybe Ben has a point. Look, I want to show you this real quick. This is not a good shot at all. I want to show you this.
Using it as a slightly off-centered.
This is what Ben's talking about. I did this my entire career. I would kick this leg out and turn the heel in.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I like it because it shows a bit of calf as well.
If Nick does that, he's got big calves, he's got big adductors, and it changes that line into more base.
You look more aesthetic for it as well.
Yeah. Nick, if you're watching, I know you watch these podcasts. Kick the leg.
That's why I think he could. Like I say, I think
Anyway, so then, while we're on the Olympia, does Hadi repeat? Because you trained with Hadi, James. So what do you think? How's Hadi doing?
Trains like an animal, dude. Probably trains like how Neil would like to train, just just go at it. Like how I used to train when I was a bit younger, but then I just did a little bit less volume as I got older, just because I was trying to preserve some calories.
Yeah.
Like I like that style of training. I think it's fucking good. And he obviously eats enough to sustain that. But I'd have to eat probably 12,000 calories a day to be able to train like that every day, because he's a mental man. When
you trained with him, did he lead the workout? You just kind of did what he wanted?
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're Mr. Olympia. I'm fucking following you.
Yeah. So how was it? Like, what did you guys train?
We trained back, and I kid you not, we did every exercise known to man on back and multiple sets. and multiple sets.
How many?
So
sets?
He's just savage. There was like 4 on everything, and we probably did 8 to 10 exercises. Like it was quite a lot of work. Honestly, and there was not a lot of rest. It was a lot of go. Dumbbells. Like we did a 200-pound dumbbell row, and then he's like, go, and I'm like, go, let's go. Yeah,
that's such an old school way to train, though. I love it. That's like,
he's been training for a long time when you see someone train like that, because that's always been the way, and he's just gradually, but he's fucking strong.
Yeah, he looks strong.
Fucking strong, especially on pull downs. Like I can hold my own on rowing, but pulling down, I was like, fucking hell, Hadi. Like, But then it explains it. That's why he's got that width, and just so you get a development, you have to pull heavy from above.
But if we keep seeing people building these tremendous physiques with volume, why do people shy away from volume?
I don't know. I like volume.
He's doing volume and heavyweight though. That's the difference. He's doing a Ronnie Coleman.
No one said volume means lightweight. I'm saying we see great physiques from people who train with high volume. You look at Seth Feroce. You look at.
Do you know what? Fouad, it all equals the fucking same, because the people that are doing lower volume train twice a week, so the volume equates to the same amount over the course of a week.
Do they train twice a week though?
Pretty much, because they're doing push-pull legs. So the guys at the lower volume are doing push-pull legs, so they're training back, and they're probably only doing half the amount of exercises per workout than someone like Hadi.
I agree with you if you're training twice a week, but what I'm saying is I see guys training once a week doing low volume.
So I don't really see that often.
You're talking about low volume with low frequency, and then that's a problem.
Yeah. I think that's where there's an issue. I think low volume, low frequency is almost, it's not lazy, but you're not getting the most out of what you could, for sure.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like Dorian did low volume, low frequency.
Yeah, because I trained unless I was trying to prioritize a muscle, I would train it once a week, but I trained with more volume.
Yeah.
I see that. I can see that point. As long as you're doing twice a week, then it makes sense.
Yeah. Because I've noticed workload of most of us is still similar to each other. It's just how much do you want to box off in one session versus another.
Yeah.
Well, we were discussing this. The exact point was it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter to a point, but 95% of the progress you make is how you do something, not what you do, right? It's the intent of the set, right? Are you pushing, take one of those sets within, if you do 20 sets or you do 8 sets, and I show you 2 pro-level physiques, do 2 different methods, I guarantee that one of those sets anywhere is going to be a hard set, right?
Yeah.
My thing is this. So as I've gotten older, I've learned that you can basically get huge in a multitude of ways. There's no one way to do it, like whether it's low or high or whatever. The part that bothers me is the people that are like, if they see somebody doing high volume, you're like, well, that's junk volume. And I'm like, if it's working, it's not junk. Is kind of where my mind goes right away. Like if this person looks incredible and it's working for them, it's not junk.
But then you find that humans are tribal, right? So they like, it doesn't matter. You walk into the gym and you walk in and you meet a guy that's pro high volume and you spend your whole career doing that. Or you walk in and you meet a low volume guy. Then all of a sudden that becomes your like religion. Like, this is my camp. I'm going to stake my flag in it and I'm going to live and die by this method and only this fucking method, because that's the only method that you've ever done and it happened to work for you.
Mm.
And that's what we seem to have got. And it seems like social media has even like divided that even harder.
But this is what I'm constantly trying to battle against on this podcast is I'm like, how many fucking people do we know that are at the top level that train differently?
Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody. But
that's why I think like what Neil said earlier is really important. You just got to enjoy your shit.
Yeah. I actually think that's the big, like, look, me and Ben trained when he was here, right? We did my workout, not Ben's workout, which is almost similar, except I do more volume in the feeder sets.
No, mine are more like that now anyway, because I'm older.
I'm talking about more when you're like training, I guess, a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But
we would preserve some energy.
Yeah,
you go in.
Your feeder sets would be like a lot less reps.
Yeah.
Mine are more like in the 10 to 12 range, whatever. So anyway, we get done. We train legs. It's an amazing workout. We're both sore as fuck for like 3 or 4 days. It's
Job
like,
done.
huh?
Job done.
Yeah, job done. But I'm saying like the point of it was we didn't sit there and go, well, if we do an extra set here or we do one less set over here, it's going to be better. We just put the fucking weight on and we trained as hard as we could.
It was we sat there for like 5 minutes drinking a pre-workout. I'm like, what do you think about? Well, let's start on this, do this, start on that, do that. We didn't actually plan the number of sets. We just want to go from that one, then we'll do that next, then we'll do that next.
Yeah.
Once we started, we barely spoke. Like more weight, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly think, lads, the one denominator that has to remain is just intensity. Yes. And I think everything else, as long as your nutrition, your steroids, or whatever the fuck you're doing are all in place and monitored, then the training aspect of it, the only thing you need to seek within that is that you are training the body parts and that you are intense. Other than that, I don't think it fucking matters.
I think the secret to all of this is, and it goes back to enjoyment, is consistency. And if you're going to
enjoyment is consistency, isn't it?
If you want to be consistent, you have to enjoy what you're doing on a daily basis, right? So whether it's optimal or not, like I want to see someone be able to run something for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years with that same level of intensity and passion over somebody that tries the perfect scientific way for 2 years and gets bored to shit of it, burns out, gets injured, does whatever.
And the truth is, it is fucking boring. Logging shit is boring. Like Neil said, me getting a bit of paper out during my session is just a fucking bore. Like, I don't log shit. I just train and I know roughly what I did. And if I fancy doing the same again and beating it, then I will tell myself beat it. But I'm not married to the idea. You know, Neil, I do believe progression comes with it, but progression also comes from picking a different exercise and fucking having it.
Neil, I know you have a high volume mentality and you train nuts. How do you tell, like, what do you tell your clients? Because I know you train a number of people. So what do you tell them, like, when do you make them do your style? Do you make them choose a style that they like? Like, what's your idea?
Well, I have like my way of doing things and the way I like to train and what I think works the best. So yeah, my clients have obviously different splits based on weaknesses that they have within their body, but the style of training across the board is like a hybrid between high volume, heavy duty, and intensity work. So like, for example, like today I did shoulders, right? I do training in like sections. So my first exercise today, it was like a section 1, and I did a superset of 2 side raise machines just to purely pump the muscles up with blood. Yeah. Right? I did 3 rounds of that. Then the next section was heavy duty. I did 2 exercises, both shoulder presses, 3 sets, getting lower in reps, heavier in weight. Yeah. Then the third exercise was like a 3-set high volume into a drop set, rest, pause set. So like the way that I cover it is I kind of do a little bit of what you're all saying in one workout. Because at the end of the day, I just want to come home and make sure every fiber in my delts are taxed. And that's my goal. And I find that's the most effective way for me to doing it. Keeps me enjoying it. I don't get injured because I'm not lifting everything crazy heavy. Yeah. I'm doing the heavy weights, so I'm getting the density, I'm getting the shape from the volume, you know, and that's probably staying lean with the volume as well.
Can I tell you that's funny that is? That's like John Meadows 101. Not necessarily the setup, but he would do fill the muscle with blood, get it warm. Then he would do meat and potatoes, which is your heavy shit. And then he would do intensifiers to like really pump the muscle. That was kind of like his strategy for all of his workouts.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. Yeah.
That's how I think a lot of it. I mean, that's certainly how Luke and I used to train. Problem is, we only ever showed the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, because you know that's the only bit that people like. That's
but
so you did do everything.
I guess what I'm saying is this: like Sam, for example, right? We signed Sam, and I was talking to Sam, and when him and Ben trained back, he started with barbell rows. So after I didn't want to change any of his workout. I'm like, you guys do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So afterwards, I said, Sam, do you always
threw me to the fucking wolves?
I threw Ben in there with him. No, afterwards I said, Sam, do you always start with barbell rows? And he goes, yeah, because that's where I'm the strongest. He's like, I'm strongest when I'm fresh, and I want to barbell row the most weight. So I think for us, maybe because we've been doing it for a long time, we know that you should start with like a warm up, like blood volume type of exercise. But I think some of the younger guys don't understand that. Because I used to do it when I was younger. I'd be like, okay, I'm doing chest. I'm going to go right to the bench press because I'm strong and I want to bench 4 plates. I wouldn't do like a machine press first or pec deck or something. So now I think I'm trying to pass on to the next generation. Like, yeah, you might not be the strongest if you do something first, but the longevity will be much better. You won't get it. You won't. And that's what I told Sam. I said, look, it might be better for your body if you do some pull downs, something, open up your shoulders, like get
some blood in there from something that's less evasive.
That's right.
Because obviously a barbell row is quite a rugged exercise.
Yeah.
I think for the last 10 years, if I've ever done squats, they've been at least third. I've gone leg extensions, a leg press of some sort, and then squatted every single time.
So Neil, are your clients doing that style of training too then?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're all getting great results from it?
Great results off it. And a lot of clients come to me and they're doing the kind of traditional push-pull legs setup, progressive overload.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it a couple of years and they picked up injuries, not enjoying it, not getting any stronger, kind of plateau. And they kind of watch potentially like some of my videos and think, oh, that looks more fun. And that's kind of how this conversation normally starts. So yeah, that's kind of what I practice is very much what I preach, right?
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't. And if I thought the most effective way to train was push pull legs, that's how I'd coach as well. But I find what I do works for me, works for my clients. You know, you've never seen me injured.
Yeah.
Are you? How many clients do you have?
Only like 30 at the minute.
Are you taking more on?
Yeah, I'm going to cap it at like 45.
I didn't realize you were coaching that many people. Is it like it's a major part of your life then?
Yeah, well, it's been my main income source for like the last 8 years. Okay. That's how I pay my rent and bills. Okay. And then after Olympia, when I went into Open, I decided to bring it right down. And just have more time to bodybuild. And then as I've kind of got into my stride with the bodybuilding, I've actually have a bit more spare time than I thought. So I've started taking clients back on. But I think 40 for me is like a nice number because I like to, with me, like all my clients I'm close with, like we talk, you know, it's not just a once a week, yeah, you look great, this is your food plan. Like I talk to the guys, I ring them, I FaceTime them.
Oh, you have like a closer relationship with them.
Yeah, there's no spreadsheets and all this sort of stuff. It's like I talk to my guys and quite a few of my clients, like I invite them all to pose with me included. They can come train with me included. So if you live within 2 or 3 hours of me, they'll come train with me. So like
but even if they don't live with you, you're probably doing stuff on FaceTime, proposing and shit.
Yeah, so I don't ever really want to go these big numbers and be doing 100 clients because, you know, I'm a full-time bodybuilder. And I think once you get to a certain number, the service can drop. Yeah, and I'd rather have 40 clients with me for 5 years that are solid, good relationships than a churn.
Yeah.
And I've got a good set of lads, really good. I only coach men, and I've got a good set of guys. But I've probably got room for 10, 15 more max.
All right, everybody, how do you want them to contact you? DM you?
Yeah, just drop me a DM on Instagram if anyone's interested.
DM Neil if you want to fucking get huge and shredded.
Jacked and shredded. Machine mentality, people. Buy this t-shirts.
Yeah, but don't message him if you're fucking lazy because Neil's not gonna.
If you ain't got machine mentality, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't got machine mentality.
All right, let's go on. James, how do I know she's the one?
If you impregnate her.
That's it.
And you're stuck.
That's actually true.
then that's like 6.
Is there any other way to know? Neil, how do you know? You're the woman, you're the ladies' man. How do you know? How do somebody know if she's the one?
I don't know. I guess you just know, right? I don't know, mate.
What signs would you look for? Nobody? You guys are
I think when they tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, is when it's a good woman.
That could go the wrong way, though. I want some.
No, it doesn't. It works.
I want some fluff.
We need to sometimes fucking listen and understand.
I get zero fluff for my wife. Zero.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way. I think fluff is fucking stupid.
I get zero fluff, but I want a little bit.
Just a little fluff. But fluff just doesn't lead to...
Not a lot, a little fluff. I don't want to be bombarded every day with how much better I could be. I want a cheerleader.
No,
it's not saying that.
I don't get shit on.
Okay. Tell me what you're talking about then, because there's days where Summer will be like, "Hey, fucking what the fuck?"
No, if I say, "Hey, I need your opinion," boom, I will get.
Oh, in that way, yeah.
Down the line.
Yeah, and if you do if you act like a shitty arsehole and they tell you, that's good. Yeah. If you act really good and they tell you, it's good. They need to just be honest. It's an honesty thing, isn't it?
James, you don't like any fluff? Nothing?
No, because fluff comes from if you actually do something worth fluffing.
Yeah, but what if we do...
You know what I mean? Like if I do something nice, a nice gesture, and then she fluffs me up, says you're such a good boyfriend.
What if she just says you're such a good boyfriend? Period. Why do you have to do something first?
Well, then she does mean it because there's honesty. That's what I'm saying. As long as honesty is there.
Yeah.
Okay. Honesty is the biggest thing.
Best friend, right?
I think that's okay. So we're kind of saying the same thing. I just don't want it to be mean all the time. We've got to have some.
They don't have to be mean, but honesty doesn't mean you're mean. If they're mean to you, then and because they're being honest, it means you're being a dickhead. So you've basically not got to be. So you're basically saying, can I be a dickhead and still be fluffed?
No. I'm not saying that.
So it sounds like.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I don't know if we'll find a woman that does that. Fucking hell, that's hard work. That's like the ultimate.
All right, so
I couldn't live with that. I wouldn't want that.
So she's the one if she's honest.
Yeah. Like if you're 3 weeks out from a show and she says to you, "You still look like shit." That's actually a good thing.
That's the one.
Yeah, because then she'll say, "Look, you can't compete yet. You need another 5 weeks." That's the kind of woman you need.
Okay, James.
3 weeks, you ain't gonna be ready.
James says honesty. Neil, what do you got? Anything?
I think the one's got to be your best friend. You know, if it's going to be the one, you've got to be best friends, right? You got to be able to do anything and everything together.
I don't know about that.
To me.
I don't know about that. He's asked you your opinion. I don't know about it.
Hey, it's my job to be devil's advocate, James. Don't start.
It's true. That's what this podcast should be called.
I got another one as well.
Okay, Neil says Neil says friends. Ben, what do you got?
She needs to, no matter what is happening in our relationship around these four walls, when I'm out there, she has my back and she's like, he's the man. We're great. Boom,
that's boom, support. You know?
That's what I meant by cheerleader. That's okay. So we got
she has my back. She has my back, whether I've been a piece of shit or not at that point in time.
Yeah.
If she's out in public, whether it's with me or not, behind my back, she has my back. And I'll do the same. And then behind closed doors, we'll handle our shit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So the only one I don't agree with is the best friend one.
Oh. Is that because Paul's your best friend? Because Paul's your best friend.
Paul's my best friend. My wife's my wife. It's not different. Look,
yeah, I agree because I like my Yannika's like I love Yannika dearly, but like I've got friends that I consider my friends.
I don't really have a best friend.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, so like for me, that's like, you know, that I don't really have one of those like best friends from school that I've been best friends with my whole life. Do you know what I mean? I've got close friends.
Yeah.
But I've never actually had like a best friend.
A best friend. Yeah. It's hard to find. It's hard to find a best friend. You gotta like you gotta really click with somebody to be like, it's a best friend.
You do.
I think you got to put them foundations in early, right?
Well, not necessarily. Me and Ben became best friends. Like I only met him 2 years ago.
Yeah. Then you need to be mindful though.
Luke and I were best friends and we met when we were at 24 and hated each other.
Yeah. I do have to say, the older you get, it's harder to find a best friend only because you have so much of your own shit going on that it's hard to like find time to spend
other people's and also you talk about your things and their things. It's a lot to take on.
Yeah. But the reason I said that, Neil, is because I feel like, for example, like if you say boys trip, right? Like if I go somewhere with like, if the three of us go somewhere, I can be as
truly yourself.
Yeah, I can be as ruthless and shitty and meatheadish as I want to be.
Yeah, I love that.
But around my wife, she's my friend. We have a lot of fun together, but
you can't say certain things.
I have to be respectful of her all the time and maintain a level of decorum. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that.
Look at Ben. Ben's like, what the fuck?
Just spend a week with you at your house. When was this decorum?
Okay, so when I'm with you,
decorum must mean something different in Canada.
Maybe worse when you're.
So when I'm with you, Ben, is it the same as when I'm with you and Summer?
Well, it's pretty close, mate.
It's close. That's why I said Summer. No, but that's why I said Summer is my friend, and we have a lot of fun together. But there's like another level when you're like just with the guy.
Yeah, when you're with the guys, there's things you can say you would never say around your missus.
Right.
And that's when it's fun. That's when it's really fun.
In the kitchen, like in the kitchen where you were like.
The funnest conversations are to be had when it's just the boys, aren't they?
Yeah, it's because guys are fucking immature. That's why.
Yeah.
Because guys are immature and they're fucking morons. So when they're together, they can be completely.
I tell you what,
you just be more morony. It's wicked.
Yeah, that car journey back from Ohio was a lot of fun, and Alora was a good sport because that was
yeah.
Paul was on fire that trip.
But you know what I will agree with Neil is you have to be able to be friends.
Yeah, that's the component of friendship there.
It doesn't necessarily have to be best friend, but if I can't be friends, like we can't. You know, sometimes you meet like a girl and she's like really good looking, but you have like zero.
There's
no conversation. Like you can't.
They're just sexy and you fancy them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm how close to one. I'd want to have a girlfriend that if the lad said, "Do you want to go on lads' holiday?" I could say, "Oh, do you want to come?" And it wouldn't affect it.
Yeah, I
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'm going on a lad's holiday. You
get away.
Stay and look after the boys, and she's going to go. Yeah, lovely.
I'm a bit of both because, like, I think that way, like that, Ben, and then when I do go away, I'm like, I should have invited Janica.
Yeah,
I can do both. I just think the guys' trip is a little different.
A couple's trip is fine. I don't want her on a guy's trip. No.
Neil, you're like, I'm bringing her no matter what.
Yeah, or you go on a couple's trip, but you behave like you're doing a guy's trip.
Yeah.
You still have fun, you still have a laugh, you still have banter, you still do all the
I think a couple's trip.
That's what I mean. Then it works.
For me, one, I don't really want to go on holiday for a romantic meal. Like
You what?
I wouldn't want to go on holiday for like a romantic meal.
Yeah,
I'd rather take my girlfriend who's the one and go and
have fun.
Yeah, I agree.
With the blues.
Look, it's only one level. It's not like a big gap. It's like my wife is my friend, and then there's like one level. It's like a notch. It's a little different.
But then it's really hard because what one's actually more important because the aspects are very different. Like this is a really tough question. Like, what do you mean? If it came to choosing one, that's when it becomes really difficult.
What do you mean choosing what one?
Your best friend or your partner? That's when it becomes really hard.
I'll choose my wife over my fucking best friend anytime.
Okay.
You mean like if they're both hanging off a cliff and I gotta save them?
Yeah, both hanging off a cliff.
I'm saving my wife.
It's your wife, man.
I'm sorry, I love you, Paul, but I'm sorry, I'm saving my wife.
See you, Paul. All right, well, you confirmed that one. I was just trying to get out of them.
No, that's an easy one. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry, Annika, I'm letting you go. No, I'm not really.
Okay. How was James' training session with Hadi? We did that. Scone, biscuit, or truck stop mega muffin?
Scone and the biscuit are kind of the same because your biscuits in like the US are what we have as scones, which are really good. I don't know what the other fucking thing is.
I'm gonna say a muffin, a mega muffin. I don't know what the fuck that, but I'm gonna say a muffin.
I don't know that one.
Scone,
I like scone, cream and jam, mate. Me and Yannick went into London a couple of months back and had scone and jam.
I'm with three Brits. Of course, you're gonna pick scones.
They're the best, mate. They're the best.
Yeah, they're the best. That's why.
When you're over here, you need to go into central London, into a nice tea room, sit down with the boys, pot of tea, and a scone and fucking.
Oh, pot of tea. Pot of tea and a scone.
If I come to the UK, are you gonna come meet me?
Yes.
Swear.
If you come to, I would not blow you out if you came to the UK. That's a piss take.
Well, you always say you're going to go places and you never go.
Yeah, because there's reasons why I haven't.
Okay.
Shit going on. But if you come to the UK.
Because I was thinking about coming. I was thinking about coming and meeting up with Neil and Samson and getting everybody together.
You should. More reason. Come see the boys.
I'm going to UK in around September.
There you go.
There we go. We're going to plan a trip in September.
End of August, beginning of September.
Yeah, and we'll train with Samson for his pre-Olympia.
To be fair, then if you come in September, it depends where you obviously are, but the gym's northwest, and we can obviously go. The gym will have a load of equipment, and it won't be open yet, but you could come and train there.
Perfect. Your gym.
Oh, your one, the GP shed.
Yeah, you could literally come there because we've got a second order of equipment coming this week, so there's like literally enough kit for the gym already. Next week, it's just the prime stuff. It's all Atlantis at the minute, the first two orders, and then the prime orders coming in October, and then there's just some other fluffy bits coming in to fill the gaps of what's not available in those two things. But there's plenty of stuff there, so that'd be cool.
That would be fun. I would do that. Yeah. We could do a podcast while we're there.
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
it'll be an open space, and it'd be easy to.
Where do you see Keone placing? It's funny. They asked all the questions we covered already. Where do you see Keone? Do you track water intake just from water or also from things like coffee, protein shakes, or if you mix them with water?
I personally don't ever really include those things, but if I was feeling bad about the amount of water I drank that day, I would then think, have I drunk anything else?
Yeah.
To like kind of then soften the blow. So, okay, I did have 2 coffees and a protein shake.
I usually don't.
But,
I don't count anything except water itself. Yeah. Neil?
No.
Ben?
Not until we're into like 4 or 5 days out. No.
Yeah. I don't mean like obviously if you're like
just in general.
Yeah. I mean normal. Do you wish you started Hostile sooner? Do you wish you started the podcast sooner, or do you feel like you started them at a perfect time? I think everything started at the right time when it should have.
From an outside perspective, I would say so as well.
You can't.
I think you do.
Look, people say to me all the time, "Oh man, if you started Hostile when you're competing, maybe you would have been able to get it off the ground faster." And I'm like, I probably wouldn't have, because I would have been so consumed by competing. It would have been shit.
Yeah, for sure. You can't give that amount of energy to something if you're still. It's like Neil said earlier. You're a full-time bodybuilder first and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed in the last year, your work rate into Hostile seems to be, and I might be wrong, but it seems to be much higher than the year before that. Even
no, it is, because once
you said something to me. You said something to me at the Arnold. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You said I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm an owner, and it was like a penny drop moment for you.
Yeah, like the change.
Well, because when I showed up to this one, it's funny. I showed up to the Arnold and I had my suitcases, and Ben was in my room, and I was kind of like taking everything out of my suitcases, and I had 4 suits and a bunch of clothes and no food.
Yeah.
And I looked at Ben, I'm like, I'm a business person. I'm not a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I have no food and I have all this fucking nice clothes that I would have never fucking worn before. I was like, okay. So yeah, it was kind of like a moment.
I look forward to a time like that where you ain't got to think about packing fucking food. It'd be great.
Oh, James, it's amazing.
It's like, I fancy something today. Let's go.
No, you have no idea. I used to go on, ask Ben, like Ben's here, right? We go on road trips. Ben's packing meals for like a fucking 4 hours. He's putting all his meals together. I'm like, I jump in the shower. I'm like, ready to go.
Yeah. That's why I like it after a show for about a week. Because the week after a show, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And Ben's like, what are you going to eat? You didn't make any food. I'm like, find something.
We'll find something. Yeah. And that's the joy. That's life. That's fun.
Yeah.
There's not many joys other than food.
And you always find something delicious too. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh, that's not true.
Always good.
That's not true. On the way to El Paso, I had like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, that's still good.
Oh, it was delicious.
It was from the gas.
I'd smash
it was a gas. It was a gas station turkey sandwich.
It wasn't a good sandwich. It's not like a deli.
It was fucking delicious. It was amazing.
I would still say yes.
And then wait, you ate those little pepperoni things, and then they hurt you ate some of them, they hurt your stomach. I'm like, what the fuck is he up to?
I needed some protein. They had these little.
But you know what? Like, you can go into you go into a petrol garage. You can buy a packet of crisps, a sandwich, and a pack of Haribo. You got a bit of everything.
You're good.
And then if you fancy a drink. It is nice. It is nice.
One of my favorite things of retiring from bodybuilding is not having to pack food. Is literally
it's a massive stress relief.
It was the fucking biggest piece of shit part of packing to go somewhere. I could not stand it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody asked me the one thing about bodybuilding I didn't like and I could do without for the rest of my life, which I will, is packing meals in Tupperware.
So if anyone's getting to the end of their bodybuilding and find it hard to disconnect, just constantly think about that positive. And then you'll be able to let go of bodybuilding. Just think about that every day. Like, okay, well, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that.
You know what, James? You know what's fucking crazy, James? So it took me like 4 years to get over the fact that I wasn't bodybuilding anymore.
Yeah, but you're eating chicken and rice every fucking day for like...
But it's funny because you look at it and there's so many positives to being retired. There's so many.
Yeah. But
I was still stuck wanting to go back.
I think we all will be for a while.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, when you've so we've made ourselves a certain way over a certain period of time, you've lived a certain existence for so long, you can't just walk away from it.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that. You don't just switch off the switch.
Yeah.
So it's understandable.
Why not just change men's physique to judge more of the muscle, calves, quads? If I was in men's physique, there needs to be more to get in. Otherwise, I'm competing against 50 top heavy guys at each local show. Well, if they changed men's physique, then you would just be classic. I think he's just asking, like, why not judge the calves and quads more? But then it's just classic, right? James?
That's why. It is classic if you're doing that. What he's asking is, for me, it sounds like he's switching just to bodybuilding or classic. You're including body parts that are taken out for a reason so that you don't judge those bits.
Yeah.
So it's...
They're going to be more top heavy now. There's a weight limit, aren't they?
Yeah, what do you think about that? You think it's a good idea, Neil?
I think it's going to cause them to train legs less and upper body more because they're going to train harder on what they're getting judged on, right? So the legs are going to get slimmer and slimmer, and the upper body is going to get bigger and bigger.
Who the fuck wants that physique?
Imagine how much that would like hurt. Like when you're like walking up the road, like your legs get fatigued. They'd be well tired.
Imagine how shit your physique would look. You're like jacked as fuck up top, and you got these skinny little fucking. No, sorry.
A lot of men's physique guys struggle because they're big. They are big.
No, but even now, like I know some of them have good legs, but I'm like, if you're telling me that they're gonna make them worse, why the fuck would you want that physique? That's just like, I knew a guy like that when I first started lifting. We would go to the bars, like when I was bouncing. This kid used to come to the bars all the time. Awesome physique, like really pretty physique, really round muscle, but it was all waist up. His legs were like this big around.
Like, it's a shame because half of them look like they got a disease. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but they look like they got wastage, muscle wastage on the lower body.
But this guy literally wouldn't train legs. He used to wear skinny jeans, and he was like one of those like guys that just wanted to look really good. And I'm like, okay, I get that you're like trying to pick up chicks, but like it just looks weird. Like your lower body's like.
Well, nothing... at some point you're successful, and then you take the trousers off, and you're like, fuck.
You know, if you look at like the top end of the Olympia, like Brandon, who came second, he's got good legs under those shorts.
Well, look, Ryan Terry's got a very balanced physique.
I wonder sometimes. Well, I don't know. I wonder sometimes why some of these guys don't just do classic.
What I'm saying is, you know, if Brandon wants to catch the guy who won the Olympia,
Banks.
Yeah, and let's say Brandon's on the weight limit for men's physique, he's going to have legs to develop the upper body to help. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. No, I know what you mean, but just on that point, I don't think, and I don't know everything about men's physique, but just from what I see, I don't think Brandon's losing to Banks because of muscle size. I think Banks is just really well put together.
Yeah, crispy as fuck as well.
Yeah. As someone with your expertise in lifting, what advice would you give to beginners that you wish you knew when you started? You get this question all the time. Neil, you want to answer that one?
So what was the question again?
What's something you would tell somebody that they shouldn't? What's something you would tell a beginner not to do from your own experience of what you did when you were younger? Like, is there something that you would have changed that you could tell somebody not to do?
I think for like, this is what I say all the time. Everyone's overthinking everything. Like someone asked me in the gym the other day, how do I do this machine? I said, it's a pin loaded row. You just pull it. Like you just literally pull it. I'd say my advice would be just enjoy it and get good at the basic stuff. You know, don't try and overcomplicate anything. Eat your meals, train hard, keep it simple for the first couple of years, and just start well, build the basics before you start trying to fine tune everything.
Yeah, I've started telling people to stop trying to learn everything in day one.
Yeah, it's too much, man. You're giving yourself a real opportunity to cause stress. Like if you try to take on too much information, it's just going to ruin you.
I just because I think about my career and how much I've learned, and I'm by no means like a fucking scientist, but I know enough to
get by.
I know enough. Look, I know enough that if I coach some kid, I could build his physique.
He's gonna look fucking good. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I learned everything I know just by doing it. It's kind of like I watched this carpenter video one time, and people think building shit is really hard, like building a chair or building, like, say you're building something with wood, right? Mm-hmm. They think it's really, really hard, but they have to ask themselves, have they ever done it? And most people never have. And he goes, the first chair you build is going to be dog shit.
Yeah.
He goes, but I'm a good carpenter, not because I know everything. I'm a good carpenter because I've been doing it for 15 years.
Because I fucking practiced over and over again.
That's right. So it's kind of like the same thing with bodybuilding. It's like, just fucking do it. Yeah. And if I look back at my first year as a bodybuilder, I was fucking stupid. I did a whole bunch of things wrong. Yeah. But then the second year was better, and the third year was better, and the fourth year, it's like, just learn as you go, man.
It's the biggest issue of today, and it's that saying, isn't it? It's that patience is so important to have, and people just don't have it. And it's because of comparison, and they say comparison is the thief of joy. You don't have fun when you're comparing yourself, and comparing yourself makes you think you have to rush. And when you feel pressured to rush, then you feel depressed. So just being able to learn something in your own time and take your time and enjoy learning it. Yeah. To enjoy learning it, it's that old cheesy saying, the process, but that is the bit that you love. You don't love the end thing, because the end thing never comes because you're always still trying to progress. It's to doing it.
That's the truth. That's the truth. So if let's say you're 21, right? And you're looking at like Sam, and you're looking at like the Trend twins, and you're looking at these, and you're like, well, fuck, I suck because I'm not the same size. But it's what you just said. If you just love to train, then it doesn't fucking matter what anybody else looks like. Just
if you love to train, you end up in a position.
You're
if you love to train, you end up in a position that's good anyway, like Neil. Yeah. Neil, not let's say, but the enjoyment factor is why Neil is where he is, because he didn't get too caught up on all the other shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when we all started training, like, obviously we're slightly different ages, but very similar. Like, before Instagram, we were all training before Instagram, right? On Facebook. Okay. So we went to the gym because we loved training. We were probably all sports people who didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sport. So the next thing to do is to drop down and say, well, I want to be a footballer, right? I didn't make it. I was thought, right, I'm going to go gym.
Yeah.
So, and that's usually like 10 or 15 years ago why people started training hard, because they didn't make it in professional sport. And that edge that you have and that competitive spirit from being a sportsman, I think makes you love training and exercise, right? Yeah. So the way we all started training was because we didn't do it for videos or likes or money. No. We just went to the gym because we like training.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of lost now, because people go to the gym more to do a story for attention.
Well,
or maybe not everyone, not in general public.
No. I think you're right, but I just want to I'm going to give them an excuse.
Yeah, go on.
Right. If let's say I'm 20 years old and I love training, like when I started and I go train. One of my main objectives when I started training was I want to be able to do this for a living, not because I want to make millions of dollars or anything, just because I want to train. I don't want to not be in the gym. So let me see if I can find a way to make money doing this so I can stay in the gym. So if you're 20 right now and you look and you see like the Trend twins, or you see Sam, or you see like some of these young influencers getting contracts, maybe that takes away some of the joy, because you're like, oh, I can earn. So now you've added in a money aspect that we never could, because there was no way for us to make money, like unless you were coaching or something. But like when we started, it's almost like it's not their fault.
Right? Oh yeah, I don't actually blame. This is the thing, I constantly don't blame how today's mindset is.
Yeah.
Because it's not their fault, because it's not one person. You can't single out anyone.
Yeah.
It's what's put in front of you. I see a lot of impatience, and I see a lot of elevated self-worth. Like, you'll notice a lot of the professionals actually aren't the ones. Professionals don't actually really get respect in their field versus some other people who aren't professionals. But that is just the way it is, because the eyes aren't on the professionals so much now, unless you are getting involved in those new school trends.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's understandable, because it is the time. But like I say, and like Neil says, the purity is a different purity for sure. Like, our purity was a totally different one, and that's just fact. There are obviously the odd few that go in the gym today, and they go in there purely because it's a way of dealing with themselves. But a lot of it is now, and understandably so, the potential to make a living.
Yeah.
So I agree with Neil and you, James, 100%. It's very, very different from when we started. I'm just saying, if I was their age, I don't know if I would blame them, because I'm like,
you feel for pressure to be part of it.
Yeah.
Imagine being young now and not training. You'd feel like you're not part of the club.
Because I think of it like this. Like, Ben, how many times have we found some young new athlete and they don't have Instagram, or they don't have TikTok, or they don't have YouTube, or they don't have any type of following at all or engagement at all, and we're like, maybe it's not the right fit. So these guys kind of go into the gym knowing, well, I want to be a bodybuilder, but if I want to do this for a living, I have to do this other thing, whether I like it or not. So all I'm saying is, though, even though you guys are both right, it's not really like their choice. I think that's
what I mean. That's what I mean. You're almost forced to.
I think some of them, I will agree with you guys on this. I think some of them are doing the opposite. They're like, I want to be part of this club, so I'm going to do this whole social media thing and go train. They don't necessarily love training. They're more like just being involved.
Yeah, it's like extrinsic motivation, not intrinsic.
Well, no, it's more like if social media didn't exist, they might not go to the gym anymore.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's an external factor rather than an internal factor.
Yeah, I think some of those people are there, but I think even
and again, I don't blame them for it at all.
No, I think they're driven by the state of what is respected now, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you go back 15 years ago, you walk into a gym and you go, that physique there, that physique there, that physique there. Nowadays, you walk into a gym, you're like, and you'll hear, oh, he's got 100,000 followers. He's got 200,000 followers. Yeah. And then the big dude in the corner, who doesn't have his phone out and has got like 22-inch fucking arms and has a great physique, nobody's paying him a blind bit of attention.
Well, and remember, like, remember if you were to wind back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, and if you were to walk down the street, how many people would actually be a gym member versus now? Like, the industry is so huge versus it used to be. Like, everyone and anyone now has a protein shake as part of their regimen in the day. Male, female, young, old. I'm sitting in Starbucks today. There's a young lady in there with a protein shake. It's such a normal thing now, because obviously the industry has capitalized on knowing that health is a massive thing and people are easily swayed into that, which isn't a bad thing. But bodybuilders were very prior to that awareness by the general public, weren't they? If you notice, and like people like yourself, we were all very keen on looking after ourselves physically before it became compulsory.
Yeah. I think I basically was sum it up with what you guys, I think James, you said, and Neil, you were alluding to, which is internal versus external factor. That's the difference. That's the difference. There's people that are doing all the social media stuff and participating in all of it, but they have an internal drive and they love training and they're just doing the social media stuff because it's part of life now. But then there's the other side that I feel like they're missing out on what bodybuilding really is. And those are the people that are there solely for the external motivation of someone's going to see my picture, someone's going to give me a like, but they don't actually love training. Like I specifically remember this girl at the gym I used to train at in Toronto. She would come in, she would set up the Smith machine, she would do 2 sets, film them and leave. She didn't even do a workout. She had the gear. Volume. She had
proper low volume approach.
No, but literally it was just like she would get the content,
what she needed, and then get out
and then fucking leave.
And fair play to her, like savvy's probably earning her some good money. But again, you're missing out on what the beauty of real bodybuilding is, and that is something that you can't put a price on.
It's like I've been meaning to do a story for my training sessions for about a year.
You like just training, so you don't want to.
I go into gym and I just don't think to get my phone out to record a set. I'm so engrossed in training.
Yeah,
and I think I did it every day when I was on holiday a few months ago because it was more relaxed. But like, when you're in the gym, it's like you're training to win.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I want to train to win a show.
Yeah.
And obviously social media is very important in the modern day and building up your following, etc., etc. But I think my advice to the original question was if you really home into why you're there, what you want to achieve, and you love doing it, you'll do better. We all do better at what we love doing, right?
Yeah.
And if you love social media, focus on getting great content and you'll enjoy it more. If you love bodybuilding, put your phone away and bloody bodybuild. I think that would be my part and advice. Find what you love within the bodybuilding. If you want to be a YouTuber, YouTube the hell out of it. If you want to be a show winner, put 80% effort into winning the show.
And there's also this, like if you do focus on it and do well, there's nothing to stop you later than hiring someone to film, which then doesn't take away too much from your own, efforts. That's always the better way I find then you don't get that distraction. Like it's a little bit of a distraction, but it's nowhere near as bad as you having to pause in the session and film sets.
Can people just build their fucking physiques first?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see what I want to see what Hunter and people are doing. But Hunter and that smart. Like you say, they've put in the work. They've got themselves to a point, and then you just hire someone to film.
I like what Neil said so far. The best. Neil said, just do what you love doing and do it the best you can. Yeah. That's the best. If you love training, go and train. That should be your main focus. If you love YouTube, go do YouTube. If you love Instagram, that should be your that's the
obviously
best. That's the best fucking thing.
There is, but then there's obviously some obligations as well to meet. So,
no, we're talking for beginners. I'm not talking
about for beginners. For sure.
Yeah. For Fouad, F1 world champion or 1 Olympia title?
Money wise, what one, bro.
I'd rather win the F1 title, man.
But think of all the places you get into if you were that guy.
That's not even the point. I
also,
just thought...
also, no, you could have a yacht.
Wait. The financial implications are enormous because to win the F1 world title, you've got to win like most of the races that year, and every single one is a fucking league, isn't it? Like, right? So it's like builds up.
I wasn't even thinking of any of that. I just always wanted to be a race car driver, so that would be.
There's something very suave, isn't there, about an F1 driver?
What?
Do you watch the Formula? Do you watch the Formula One though?
I used to watch IndyCar racing. I don't actually watch Formula One.
Formula One's great, but I don't really watch it. My dad used to be a massive fan.
I used to be into it pretty hard.
I don't feel like you have to, and this is probably going to sound crazy, but I don't feel like you have to watch something to love it. Does that make sense? Like
it does, but
no, it's like baseball, right? Like I could go play baseball. I could go to a batting cage and hit a baseball for a while and enjoy myself, but I don't want to watch baseball on TV.
No one wants to watch baseball on TV, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, yeah, I think we all love bodybuilding, but I don't think most of us watch a lot of bodybuilding content.
I mean, if I wasn't like doing a podcast, I might not watch every show. I mean, maybe I would. Yeah. I probably would. I don't know.
I wouldn't.
I know. I personally I love watching gaming more than I watch bodybuilding.
Look, when I was more athletic, and let's say I was like playing basketball 1-on-1 with somebody, I never watched basketball. So I don't feel like
you still loved it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like you have to watch something like I would go to a racetrack and pay to drive my car as fast as I can around the track every fucking week, every weekend. Yeah. I don't really watch racing.
But I don't class that as I don't count that as the same thing though.
It's not the same
doing
thing.
The sport versus watching the sport. I don't think they're the same.
No, that's what I mean. They're not the same thing.
So you don't like watching car racing. You like car racing.
Well,
or you like racing
I don't
cars.
know if it's that I don't like watching it or I just don't care.
You don't care for it.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
Maybe you do care about racing a car.
Yes.
That's the difference. Right?
Again, I think it's a different subject. Actually, I think the subject of it is that do you like doing something or watching something? They're two different things.
Yeah, they are two different.
So so like I say, so you can't generalize. Do you love the sport? Because there's factors. I could love.
Well, you're either the athlete. You're the athlete, or you're the spectator.
So I love going down. Like I love to go to the park and kick a football around. So because I love football, but I'll never fucking watch a game.
Well, and it's the same thing the other way around too. I like watching UFC. I like watching UFC, but I don't.
You ain't getting in a ring.
It's like...
The UFC is the prime example. There's way more people.
To be fair,
watching it than doing
it. Well, and guys, how many people out there love bodybuilding? If you met when you've been at a show doing a meet and greet or something that don't actually compete or bodybuild, they're just fans.
That surprises me though. That one, I'm like, really? You like it, but you don't do it?
No, one guy explained it to me. One guy was like, yeah,
he had a hard on. He had a semi. He was like, yeah.
No.
I really like it.
One guy said to me, I get a lot of motivation from watching bodybuilders train and watching their Instagrams and watching.
They use that as something else.
But he's like, I don't really pay attention to the shows.
Yeah, him and his box of tissues get a lot of motivation from it.
It does sound a bit suspect.
How many dudes did you bang for one Olympia title?
If they're good looking. The feminine.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite looking guy? Brad Pitt?
No, it'd have to be like more feminine looking than that. Like if I literally thought it was a girl when it had a cock, then.
So you'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
How many?
Thailand. One bird. One man bird.
One for one Olympia.
Well, okay, then I'll do like 7 of them. No, 9. After 9, because I need 9 Mr. Olympia titles, because then I got a legacy. Whatever. So 9 lady boys.
You know what, James? Yeah. Whatever makes
no. Every Olympia is an extra one. No,
so you got 2. If you want 2, so if you want 2, you have to do 3.
First one is 1, 2 is 2, 3. Yeah. So 9's a lot, mate.
Well, it ain't doing me. Wait. What harm is it doing me when I'm bolting my load in something else? I'm not getting fucked.
Depends what you get from it.
So, hole's a hole, bro. Hole's a hole. It ain't gay if it ain't gay.
Let's move on.
George, you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable. Do you not think you could do a ladyboy?
You didn't give a number
and still feel straight.
How many?
Let's move on.
As many as it takes to get 9. And then I'll be on my way.
You want the record? That's why.
Yeah, I just want the record.
How much of an impact do PEDs have on life expectancy? Obviously, everyone is different, can handle them better, but just in general.
Fuck knows.
The second part of that answer was the truth, which is everybody's different and everybody's genetics. This is something me and Ben talk about. That's something kind of I never realized until recent years, is your genetics play just as big a part in clearing drugs and toxins as they do building muscle, getting lean, or anything else. So when you say genetics, how good are your fucking genetics for health?
Yeah, I've seen, like I said, I was talking about this. I've seen blood work from the top right down to the bottom, and you'll see the lab work of these pros, and you're like, how is your cholesterol perfect? How is this?
I don't know how
is that?
Listen, I'll make this even closer for all of you. Paul has been doing steroids since he was off and on. Obviously, he cycles normally, and he says, I'm not going to care if I tell people this. He's been on some type of hormone replacement, hormone therapy, testosterone, whatever the fuck you want to call it, PEDs, for 20 or 30 years. His blood work is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like, other than like a slightly elevated red blood cell count, and I mean slightly.
And that's not even harmful.
His blood work is absolutely perfect from top to bottom. Okay.
What's like a big cycle? What would have been like his biggest back when he was pushing anything?
Well, I'm not going to give details, but I will tell you he wasn't nearly as reckless as I was.
Well, I figured that.
I figured that. No, but on in the same token, I'm 6 or 7 years younger than Paul. And I was granted a little more reckless, but my blood work is not nearly as good as his.
Yeah.
So like your genetic makeup and how you clear drugs and how you process drugs and whatever hereditary issues you have, all will play a part in what you're actually like. Look, it's like this. My dad had heart disease. Okay. So heart disease is a genetic, like it's hereditary. So if normally I'm supposed to have a heart attack when I'm 60 or 70 or 80, you got to imagine that if you've taken a boatload of drugs, you're going to just speed that process up.
You're definitely adding to the risk factors.
It's like when you lose your hair. Like, let's say you're supposed to lose your hair when you're 40 and you took steroids, so you lose your hair when you're 30. It's the same thing. You're just accelerating whatever hereditary issues you may have normally.
Yeah. It's a tough one, man. You have to accept that there is a price.
The problem is, James, accepting it when you're 20 is a lot easier than accepting it when you're 40. Right? Like,
or do you mean or you mean
I mean when you're 20 and someone says, like when someone asks me, because my brother asked me when I started bodybuilding.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Do you accept the risks that will come with this? You're like, yeah, whatever. I just want to go work.
You just blow it off, didn't you? You're like, it's fine.
Yeah. Not that, I mean, the nice
you're invincible, right? You're invincible when you're 20.
The nice thing for me is, even at 44, I still accept what I've done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret anything. Like, what I've done is what I've done, and I'm responsible for it no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So, what candy bar would you describe as the best?
Henry.
He means O. Henry, by the way. Anybody?
Henry bar. No, Henry bar. I've improved it. Henry bar.
Ben came to Canada and had an O. Henry.
Henry.
And he keeps calling it
Henry. Was Henry bar.
I think Dime Bar.
The what? Brine Bar?
Dime Bar, but it's Dame now. DAIM, but it used to be Dime Bar.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Dime Bar.
And it's just like a hard caramel or something. Or what is it? Hard caramel with just chocolate on it. It's like Norwegian or Swedish or something. It's fucking good.
Sister used to love those. I don't know.
Yeah, they're so good.
Henry bar, different level, mate. Different gravy.
What's Henry got in it? Like loads of shit. I bet it's got so much shit.
It's like nuts, caramel, and chocolate, mate.
It's just basically a Snickers.
No,
it's better than Snickers.
It's got nougat. It's got nougat in it also.
That's a bit like a double decker then. Double decker that we have here in England.
It's better than double decker. I don't like double deckers.
Okay.
When you come to the Detroit show, I'm going to buy a box.
Please bring a box
now for everyone.
I'll try the O. Henrys or the Henrys. I wouldn't call them O. Henrys.
Don't call it Henry.
Henry.
This is an O. Henry bar.
The Henry bar.
Oh, that does actually look good. That does look like a bit.
There's no nougat in there, is there?
Isn't that nougat right here?
No, it looks like caramel.
The one on the right. The one on the right.
Looks a bit like a Snickers.
They both look good.
I like a Snickers. I like Snickers, but this is better.
I would definitely suck that right now.
You'd suck
Trust me, this is.
I'd suck that right now, and I'd buy it and shoot it.
Sugar, peanuts, modified palm oil. No, wait.
I don't want to know how bad it is for me.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
I just want to know what the fucking. I want to know like the.
Mate, read the label. It just says. It says.
Yeah, you're just looking for the word nougat there, isn't it? Unfortunately,
Crunchy,
they do look good.
Peanuts, chewy fudge, creamy caramel.
Fudge.
Fudge. It's the fudge.
And nougat.
There's no fudge.
It's the
Fuck
fudge.
you. There was no nougat there.
It's the fudge. That looks like a good bar, to be fair.
That's a solid. It's my favorite. I brought 4 back home with me.
I'm gonna chocolate.
Worst hypo experience while dieting.
Oh, I could say this one.
I went to the emergency room once. I almost died.
I didn't have that.
I woke up in the emergency room one morning.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
can't say that happened.
Neil, you never heard this story?
No.
I loaded my GH pen and my insulin pen, and I put them in the same, and then I mixed them, and I took 80 IUs of insulin before bed.
Oh my God.
3 days out from a show.
You pass out?
I go to sleep, and then I wake up to take a piss like 2 or 3 hours later, and I'm like, I feel dizzy. I'm like, I don't know, must be just the diuretic. I think I took like a 25 milligrams of aldactone that night or something. So I take a piss and I go back to sleep. Next thing I remember is waking up in the hotel room with 2 dudes lifting me onto a stretcher.
Fuck.
And then I passed back out. And then the next thing I remember after that is waking up in the emergency room with a dextro strip hooked up to my veins. And I'm like, where the fuck am I?
Bro, that was close to being a proper tragedy. You need to.
That's dangerous.
So my girlfriend at the time woke up and she was like, she saw me in like a pool of sweat. She called Paul. What the fuck do I do? Paul's like, give him some cookies.
Give him some cookies. You're unresponsive. Give him some cookies.
So I can laugh about it now. I don't care. So anyway, next thing you know, he's like, just call the fucking ambulance. So they called the ambulance. They got me. This is the Thursday before a Saturday show.
Fuck.
Wake up in the emergency room. I'm like, they tell me what happened. I'm like, I got to take a look at, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I just want to see what I look like. Cause I'm like, I got a show in 2 days. So I take my like dextro strip with me and I go to the bathroom. I'm fucking shredded.
Yeah,
like
I bet.
Shredded like never before. Like, cause I must have like just dropped
all the glycogen out.
Every ounce of water, because I sweat so bad, right?
Yeah.
Every ounce of water must have came out of me. I'm like, I gotta fucking get out of here, man. So I go back and I call Chad and I'm like, hey man, this is what happened, blah blah blah. He's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, they got me on a dextrose drip. I'm like, I'm doing fine. He's like, well, just start eating. I'm like, eating what? He's like, just eat whatever you can. He's like, you're probably super fucking depleted. He's like, have a few muffins with every meal or something like that, right? So I'm like, I tell the doctor, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And they're like, well, you can't fucking leave. I go, what do you mean? I go, you can't keep me here. I'm like, I got a show in 2 days. I got to get out of here. So they're like, well, you have to sign this release form. I'm like, whatever. So I sign the release form. I fucking leave. I got no clothes. All I got is the
apron.
Oh no, no, they got me in the hospital pants. You know, the blue ones.
Yeah.
So I got a pair of hospital pants, no shoes, no shirt. I'm fucking walking out of this place shredded, 230 pounds. I go to the gift shop. I grab a few brownies on my way out the door. Get a cab. I'm eating the brownies on the way back. I get to the host hotel. Get out of the host hotel. I'm walking through the host hotel with no clothes on except for the hospital pants. They wrote about me in the magazine after the show. They're like, cocky Fouad walked through the host hotel with his shirt off. I'm like, this motherfucker didn't know I was in the ER like the night before. Anyway, I go to my room. I finish my carb load. I get on stage. I win the super heavyweight class.
Wow. It's kind of worth it.
And if you ask anybody at that show, I should have got my pro card that year.
You should have wrote down that peak. You should have wrote down that exact peak protocol.
Like 80 IUs of insulin.
This exact protocol.
Dude, that was it could have been the end. That could have been the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. I had a couple of rough times. I used to train in Bethnal Green Muscle Works on a Saturday, and I was using insulin at the time, and I'd finish training and I'd do post-workout insulin and then take my like post-workout shake. And then a couple of times I got caught off guard because it just the post-workout shake obviously digested too fast. And then I was like, I went into like a super hypo on the bus, not on the bus, on the train. And dude, I've had to like try and find something just to eat. That happened a couple of times. I didn't really learn.
Hey, James, I had ones for so similar to that. So I used to live in Stratford and train at Bethnal Green. Muscle Works, right? And I used to have this little routine on lock where it'd be like a 10 to 12 minute walk and tube from Bethnal Green to Stratford because it's so close. So I inject the insulin as I'm leaving the gym, get on the tube, walk home, walk in my house, have my post-workout drink, bang on the mud 15 minutes later every day, no problem. Anyway, the tube stopped for an hour underground.
Oh, no.
Between platforms, I had no food on me.
Oh my God.
I was going hypo, I was dizzy, like I felt see all these stars. I was tapping people, excuse me, can I have some of your drink? Oh, excuse me, if you got any food.
Have some Fanta, please.
That's like a homeless.
Fuck.
Did you say I would have just said I'm diabetic? Does anybody
that's the best thing to do.
That's what I would have been. I would have been like, I'm diabetic. Anybody have any sugar?
Yeah, like this. I'm diabetic, I need food.
But you know when you're like so hypo, like you can't even really string together and be rational and say, "Oh, hi, excuse me, I've got diabetes." You know, like
you're a rabid fucking dog.
Give me food.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, to people, "Can I eat some of that? Can I eat some of that?" They thought I was weird.
It is funny because they said, I remember Chris Tuttle said it's to offset hypoglycemia. I don't know how it is different if you're using endogenous, obviously insulin, but apparently, like in a situation if it happens to a diabetic or something, 20 grams of carbohydrate net carbs literally controls.
So I've tested
this theory. I bet it did fuck all.
25 grams knocks it, bang.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's
and I've done it like I've sat at a table with all my food out and
I purposely waited to see it.
I sat and waited. I wanted to see. I've done it many times and like I tried it and I sorry?
Was that to see how much you could take before going hypo? Like, were you trying to find your limit?
No, I would.
It's more of a time thing.
Find out how much it would take to knock the hypo out.
With how much insulin did you use?
Bring me back to normal. I was using like 5 IU immediately post workout. It's and I wasn't even.
It's funny.
Like, sit and wait.
It's funny because when you go hypo, you get so scared that you feel like you need like 500
everything.
Grams of carbs.
Dude, I'd go in the cupboard and eat the whole lasagna. Yeah. Like
I know.
Yeah,
and then
you
you're
literally.
It is surprising. It's surprising how little you need.
You literally eat.
Also, you got to remember the body's just going to start. The body's going to start like dumping glucagon as well, right? So you're just the body's doing its own safety mechanism. By the time that 25 grams goes in, you're normally back to baseline.
Dude, I eat like I'm fucking homeless.
Like, and I kind of excuse it for it as well because I'm like, well, it's a hypo.
I think the people going hypo purposely.
James, every bodybuilder, I swear to God, is the fucking same. We're all the same.
I was going hypo.
But you know how much fat storage you're susceptible during that period of time.
Oh, way more. And there's me banging a lasagna full on.
Yeah.
The worst part is after you ravage the house and eat like you're homeless. You just you go completely like out. I can't stay awake anymore. After that,
I've actually. Do you want to know the most meathead thing I've ever done? I think one of the most meathead things.
Maybe you shouldn't say it on the podcast. We've gone far enough.
I don't give a shit. I wanted to have a cheat meal, and I knew I wanted to eat a lot, so I pinned it to make myself go hypo so I could eat more.
So you're so hungry. So you're really hungry and ready for the food.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I want to fucking go in here. So
today's cheat meal's got to be a big one.
Yeah.
Maybe when you do the 175 grams of McNuggets, you should do it.
Yeah, but that's protein. We're gonna we'll be fucked because there's not enough carb.
No, the breadcrumbs should be good, and the amount of ketchup you're gonna add to it.
Oh yeah, to be fair, the barbecue sauce will cover the slip.
Yeah. All right,
250 carb.
That's sweet baby rays.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, new bodybuilders or people who just start using insulin, when you first ever experience a hypo, it's probably quite scary because you don't know how far it's going to go. You don't know where it's going to end. You have no idea how to control it. Like we know for real hypo, I could have a bit of apple juice and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like we know that as experienced guys, but that first hypo is very scary.
Yeah.
Because you think, am I going to die? Like
it's unknown territory.
Yeah.
So I suppose if anyone does come across that, not that we know really what, but just make sure you've got some good orange juice or something nearby. And Don't think you have to consume a whole lasagna, because you don't. So
always keep something in your gym bag as a safety backup, just in case. Just, a juice or a chocolate bar, or just have something in your gym bag at all times in case it ever happens.
I used to have a regular Coke in my fridge.
Yeah.
It was just, I almost never. It was like I would go through one every 6 months because it was only for
emergencies.
If I was feeling hypo, because I just drink one can of Coke and I'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
Coke never failed.
What are your biggest ambitions for both HOSSTILE and your influence within the wider fitness industry? James, what is your ambition for your influence within the industry? Is there anything you want to do so that when you're retired, you can be like, or even in retirement, that you can be like, this is my stamp on the bodybuilding world?
I don't know. Honestly, it's a hard question to answer. I just want to be respected for what I did. That's it, really. It'd be silly to say that you don't want respect, because you do. Like, the people that we look up to, we respect. And you just want to be one of them people that when your time's done in this, the people say, you know what? Fair play to that geezer. He did well, and he worked hard, and he had I don't know, just a great way about it. I think that's all that I really care about.
What do you ever, you're what now, 34, 33?
34 now.
Do you ever think what your impact will be on, or what you will do in bodybuilding after? Will you even stay in bodybuilding after? Have you not even started?
Well, this is where I think the gyms are going to be like kind of the next step for us. It's kind of like we still want to. Me and Jordan have like a way about us here in the UK that we want to be able to promote and give people somewhere to go and achieve their goals like we did, and
so
that's really, I think that's the stamp. It's just to keep that shit alive and let people fucking feed off it and make their progress and enjoy it and just be part of it.
Neil, is it too soon in your career to think that far ahead?
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about my next show.
Yeah.
But I just want to, I think you get one life. I want to do what I love doing, in that life. And I think bodybuilding will lead you down a certain path. And like, if someone asked you that maybe 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't say you had the most successful podcast in the industry, right? You don't know sometimes. So I think I'm very much there. It's like I'm just thinking about the next show, the show after that, and then I'm nowhere near thinking about what legacy am I going to leave behind, because I got to make it first.
Yeah, it's true. And I think a lot of us feel unfulfilled yet as well. Like, even myself, like I might have done okay in a few shows. Neil's won shows. Like, we're not done. So it's hard to say, because there's still more that you can eke out. I don't think we've walked away yet at our best.
Yeah, I think we're probably,
go ahead.
in your local area or your local country, it's probably like a bigger thing. Like, a lot of the guys where I live in, like my town or the surrounding towns and surrounding cities, they think it's crazy I won the New York Pro. Like,
it's a big old fucking show to win as well.
But like, other bodybuilders probably don't have that same appreciation. So I think, like local, like legacy will probably be a lot easier to build. But like in terms of within the industry, I think I'm nowhere near
where you want to be.
I thought it would be the opposite. No,
but Neil, I don't think. How can I put this? I don't think it's because of bodybuilding. I think certain people set different standards for themselves. So, like, how can I put this? If I walk into a gym at 220 pounds when I was coming up and I say I'm fucking small, it's because the vision in my mind is that I want to be 260 on stage. Everybody in that gym doesn't think that. They're like, that guy's fucking huge. He's 220 on stage. They don't see what's in your own head. So when you win the New York Pro, to everybody else, that's holy fuck, you won the New York Pro. But you already have a predetermined vision in your mind of where you want to go. So New York is a stepping stone, right? It's not like success to you is top 10 at the Olympia or something, top 5, whatever your version of success is. So that's why you think New York is, I won New York. That's great. Pat myself on the back. I move on. When to them, I don't think a lot of people, and I hope I'm not I don't get roasted for this, but I don't feel like a lot of people dream big dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like saying I want to be top 10 in the world at something is a fucking big deal.
Yeah.
And it's funny. That's why sometimes when I'm listening to people talk about bodybuilding and they say, oh, fucking Andrew was 8th place or Hunter was 7th place. I'm like, you're talking about 7th place in the entire fucking world.
Yeah, right? They're saying like a bad thing. It's a good thing.
But, and even saying that, in Hunter's mind, it's probably not success. In my mind, it's success. So everybody's version of success is their own, right?
Yeah.
So it's
then you try and nurture your mind in a way that is like Hunter's, because you feel like that's the way to get more success. So
but it can be a double-edged sword, though, James.
Because it can because then you never appreciate anything you've done.
Do you ever find happiness then if you're always searching for
I don't know.
Right?
Maybe it comes later. Maybe when you like kind of mature and you take a bit of time away and then you look back. But in the moment, like I know, because like Neil, I've been to the Olympia, and for many people, they're like, "Wow, that's the dream." You've been to you know what it's like, but did it really mean much to any of us? Is it enough? Like,
yeah. Well, it's like you said, when you're done and you look back at, like, to me, look, I was last place at the fucking Olympia, right?
It's still the Olympia. Like, there's some got to the Olympia.
But now that I'm done and I look back, I go, yeah, you know what? I'm proud of that.
You're a fucking Olympia level bodybuilder.
It wasn't like amongst the elite of bodybuilders, it wasn't great. But amongst what I was trying to do with my physique, I can be proud of what
At the end of the day, listen, if you get on the Olympia stage, you're top 20 or whatever in the world at that time.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is,
crazy.
I don't know what the point is anymore. I thought that was interesting what you said about how people think things are a big deal, but I think everybody has their own big deal in their own mind.
Yeah.
Of what they see as a big deal. Anyway, sure. Ben, are you at a point yet where you can look at your ambitions in the sport, or you don't look at that?
I feel like I'm still way down and still learning so much. So, until I earn my own respect, if that ever happens, then I'll be happy. I guess that's what I guess that translates in like your own version of success, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll respect myself when I achieve what I think is success.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's plenty of people out there, especially in the world of social media, that will offer you that pat on your back very quick, right? Their followers and this and that, and that's very nice. But I think a lot of people can get too swallowed up by other people's opinions. And whilst James said he wants to, you're always searching for respect from people, but respect from people that you like, your peers, right? Other people you respect.
And then it's a level. Sorry. No.
I was just going to say, and it boils down, like I then was thinking what I was talking about. Well, I want the respect from you guys, and I want respect from my wife, like in terms of my career, as well.
Yeah.
And then ultimately my own respect, where I go, no, I'm where I belong now.
Yeah, so, I gotta actually say, I didn't think of when I was, not to be the old fucker in the room, but when I was in my mid-30s and I was in the middle of competing the way you guys are, and Ben, you're kind of in the middle of your coaching journey, I didn't think of like legacy or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think you should yet, really.
Not well. You guys are in the trenches still, so it's different. I'm kind of outside of it now, so I can go, yeah, you know what? But for me, it's like for HOSSTILE, because one of the things I look at is Andy Frisilla. So when I look at First Form, one of the things I love that they do is they have like this massive bash once a year where they invite all of their people plus all of their fans, and they do this like massive fucking festival for like all of the First Form supporters.
Yeah.
I'd like to be that big one day where we can just be like, rent out a fucking arena or a stadium or something and be like, all the fucking HOSSTILE fans could come, all the fucking athletes and fucking people that like, I've seen like, okay, how can I put it? So this last weekend, we went to Columbus and met this fan. He's one of our...
You went down a scale, didn't you? You went down a scale.
Yeah. So this guy is probably one of our biggest supporters. So we go visit him. We make his day. We give him a prize pack. We shake his hand, sign some photos, take some pictures. It was a really good feeling to be able to do that for someone.
Yeah.
I want the company to be so big that we can do that for like a large number of people.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to... Yeah. I don't know.
It's like a giving back thing, isn't it? It's being able to be big enough to give back.
So it's weird.
Yeah.
People will say like, "Oh, you just want to be big so you could be fucking rich," and I'm like, "Yeah."
No, there's joy from giving back, isn't there?
Well, with the money comes all the cool shit you can do with it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, yes, I want the company to be humongous, but think about all the awesome shit we could do if we were humongous.
Yeah, and it involves people that support you on the way up. Like you want to give.
Yeah. So that's the kind of legacy I'd like to leave. But that's about it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll end on a serious note, unless James, you have any feet stories you want to tell us?
No real feet stories at the moment, to be fair.
No,
nothing new.
Neil, do you have any fetishes?
No, none
that I can talk about here. He's got some, you can tell, but none for this podcast.
His reaction, he's about to say something. He's like, nah.
It switched in, and he's like, nah, not for this one. I'll leave that for myself.
All right, boys. Good catching up, man. Love talking to you guys.
Yeah, you too, guys. Appreciate seeing you all.
We'll catch up next week.
Neil, Ben, take care, guys.
Okay,
later,
later, boys.
Easy, boys.